Greetings! What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday! I've been flying by the seat of my pants, dude. It has been a day. Just got to have like a 3-hour Sacred Symbols Plus. Look forward to that, LSM viewers and listeners. But really glad to see you all here. What's going on, early birds? Casper, welcome. Palmer's Burner was the first chat of the day. What's going on, bro? Mithu, good to see you here, as well as Wolf Bear. We got a lot to talk about in the world of Xbox, man. It's another big day. Thought I had my weekend set, but they have made it interesting once more. I agree, Ice Cap Lord. That was a great read by Windows Central. We'll be going over that here today. So fret not. We'll be all over it. But good to see you all. Z-Bat, good to see you. Senior Vin, hello. Ryan, hello. Sir Lags-a-lot, welcome, welcome. Hope you all are doing great. Yeah, a lot of information and misinformation to sift through. I know. That's why I wanted to talk about it as a community. I do want to make a video on, of course, all the Fallout stuff, but I did want to talk about it as a group as well. I thought that was pretty important to do because it's kind of making my head spin. There's so much shit going on, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. What's going on, Uncharted Wolf? Thank you for being here, holding us down at the last minute, nonetheless. This was a stream that almost didn't happen, but I really wanted to make sure we kept the schedule. This will probably be a little bit of I put shorter. It's going to probably be like 2 hours, so we'll be hanging here for a couple hours. But thanks for teasing with the idea of opening Troze. I'm sorry, bro. I got to give the IRL buff. You know how it goes. Bunksar, good to see you as well. What's going on, Jim Bob? What's going on? Fallout fan, dude, bro. What's going on, bro? What's going on, Josh? Good to see you as well, dude. What do we got here? All right, we got a couple of super chats to open us up. Happy Friday, Maddie says Hopalay. Hopalay, always good to see you. Mainstay. Appreciate your support, bro. Love you dearly. Z-Bat says, shut up and take my money for the PS2 fund. I don't know, man. I'm getting rid of hang on. These are all the PS2 games I'm getting rid of that I talked about in Retro Rebound. I'm admittedly, hold on, let me lift it up a little higher. There you go. You can see them all now. I'm wavering a little bit on these bad boys right here. Persona 3 and 4. I'm feeling something, and I've been feeling it for days. Like, I will never play these versions of the game, but I am wavering a little bit on, like, getting rid of them. Like, they're so cool. Like, just looking at them on the shelf. They're so cool. There's ones like Jack and Daxter and Ratchet that I don't mind as much because, like, the HD re-releases are great, but, like, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for supporting the PS2 fund. I don't know when I'll make use of it, to tell you the truth. But, yeah, we're purging a lot of games from the collection. I really needed to thin things out because I was slowing down collecting because I just had so much shit on my shelves. Making room to buy again. Yeah, a lot of people thought I was just, like, quitting game collecting. I was like, dude, I'm just making room so I can actually make, like, smarter purchases. That I don't need, like, double ups of so many games I have. Those black labels are clean. I agree. Yeah. Ice Cap Lord, we ever closer to the Castlevania Retro Rebound. We're getting there. Yeah, I was kind of looking at my backlog. I just finished Spyro. That'll be tomorrow's episode of Retro Rebound. I have to record that after the stream. So look forward to that. But yeah, I was looking at basically the rest of June and July are my months to commit to some things like GTA, Castlevania, because then in August it's going to get crazy. So just a lot to do. But don't worry, we're Ice Cap Lord. I plan to deliver on this. I just need to know which one. I need to decide which one I want to play. Oh no, I cannot let my wife watch your liquidation video. She started eyeing my shelves. I'm just doing it because I want to buy more things. Don't get it twisted. Like, you can actually see it right here where my hand is. Those shelves were previously full. That's what I meant by I just made room to collect things. This is all my PS2 stuff. You saw how much I was holding up earlier. Now I can collect that many more PS2 games. So you could trick your wife. You could say, yeah, I'll get rid of some stuff, babe. And then just be like, yeah, I was just making room for other shit. Why'd you invite Brad to Duke? I know. It's all our fault that everything's happening now. It's really set off a chain reaction. Thank you, Justin Zarian. I am doing well today. Appreciate you being here. Grubby the Great asks, what are you eating for Din Din tonight? Leftovers. Ordered some Alfredo last night because it was another long day. I fell prey to the takeout food. I really need to stop that. But I got a little leftover chicken Alfredo, so that's the play. Thank you for asking. Appreciate your interest in what I'm putting in my body. Before this, I had Tuscan tomato salad and a piece of bread. I had no time to make anything to eat. I was just like, today's been a go, go, go day. I can't wait for the weekend just to slow down and take a breath. It's going to be awesome. Hey, already over 600 of you here. Thanks for being here. This is very impromptu, like I said. You know, just like, I had 15 minutes. I was like, do I stream? Do I just make videos? I was like, I'm going to try to do it all. Yeah, Topher's right. Just buy more shelves. I thought about that. Meatballs in the chat. What's going on? Frenchie. Maddie, did you love my COG throat coat edit? Yes. I think I talked about that on Defining Duke recently. That COG was like standing in front of the 25th anniversary Xbox, and I think you subbed it with the throat coat. That was funny as hell. Parker, what's going on, dude? Maddie, I'm live and I'm scared. More rakes are coming our way. Yeah, I mean, I view it more like a fork in the road. No, that's not even a good way of describing it. I view it more like you get a little, you give a little. That's kind of what's happening here. We're getting things like Fallout and Elder Scrolls. We'll talk about that. But it's going to come at a price, and we don't know how hefty that is. Ruben Lopez is having Alfredo tonight as well. Let's go. Oh, we got a super chat from the homie. Uncharted Wolf. I kept my copies of Spyro, Crash, Jack, Sly, and Ratchet, even though I only play the remasters due to sentimental value. Those games mean a lot to me. Yeah, I gotta say, I didn't realize it was, I like blindly pulled it off my shelf. I didn't realize Ratchet Deadlock was in my stack. I put that back in my collection. I don't have a re-release of that. I mean, I do have the PS3 digital version of it, but they never did like a physical release of Jak and Daxter, or Ratchet and Clank for Deadlocked, which is one of my favorites. But yeah, when it comes to the original trilogy, I have it on PS Vita physically, and I also have it on PS3. So there is some sentimental value, but not like a whole ton. I was a little bit of a late adopter to Ratchet. Jak and Daxter are a little bit more so. I have sentimental value too, but I've not had Jak 3 in my collection, which is the one I love the most. So I was like, I can get rid of this. I like the Jak and Daxter collection a ton on PS3. I love using my PS3. I love trophies. So that's what would happen for me as well. Is I didn't mention this in the video, but like there's some games on PS2 that I'd absolutely throw into the PS2, but then I'm like, oh, well, I can get trophies for that on PS3. And then decisions made. I go to the PS3 version. Maddie, Dead or Alive 6 last round is coming very soon. Are you going to try it? Mithu, I don't think so. I played a lot of Dead or Alive 6 when it first came out, so I don't know what they're doing with Dead or Alive. Like, I kind of thought after all this time it would be 7. I know it's on the way, but I'm just saying I kind of thought that's what it would be after all this time, so I'm not really trying to buy 6 again, to tell you the truth. So I will not be trying it, but if you do, let me know. I'd love to hear some thoughts on it. What are you eyeing with your newfound shelf space? Good question, Synchro. Thanks guys for taking interest in my collecting habits. I'm gonna be going to visit a friend in a couple of weeks, and while I'm out there, I will be doing a little retro game shopping, and I'm gonna sort of let the store speak to me. I'm gonna be very picky. Right now, there are some grails that I really want, like Pokemon Emerald Complete in Box is super expensive. I don't have the cash to spend on that, but that's one I know I really want. There's restorations I need to do. Like, I'm getting rid of BioShock Infinite because I have it on PS3, but that's because I want it on 360. So I might like grab something such as that. Trying to think what else. PS1 library is pretty thin. I mean, I'm looking right now. I got like Spider-Man Enter Electro, Spider-Man 1, Metal Gear Solid 1, Parasite Eve. I don't have Parasite Eve 2, so I think that'd be cool. I have Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. I have Vagrant Story. Anything else? I'm trying to read these labels from afar. They're not really Shenmue. Yeah, oh, my Dreamcast collection as well. Yeah, there's a couple things I'm targeting like that. We'll see where it ends up. What platform are you getting Fable on? Good question. Probably PC. That's kind of where my head's at right now. I think just like the game looks gorgeous. I'd like to play it on my rig using all the power. Sluggy, I have not played Mina the Hollower yet. I did buy it though to support, but I have not played it yet. Uh-oh, Chris the Kill is back. What's going on, bro? Anyone else dropped $300 this weekend? I can't not buy a Jack of Blades statue, but my wallet. Yeah, it's kind of on the docket. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it looks really good. Definitely out of all the collector's editions they showed between Gears and Fable and Halo, Hable's looked the worst. That shit looked completely outsourced. It looked like ass, but I will say Fable looked really good. Yeah, that statue looked really good. A lot of people have been asking. We will have our Fable video out this weekend. It was going to be tomorrow, but obviously there's a chance that gets delayed because I want to talk about this Fallout news, which we'll discuss on stream. We'll see what kind of conversation we can have here on that. We're also going to dive into the margin crush, thanks to a great report from Jez Corden. Michael Smith. Hey, broski, how worried are you about the changes Xbox is about to go through on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh, man. Don't take my lack of worry as a sign of confidence. It's more just like they've hit the floor. They're trying to rebuild. It is what it is. A 3. That's what comes to mind. Like, it seems like every option's on the table right now, from spinning the brand out to be on its own, which I think would probably be for the good. Like, I think that'd be really good. I don't think Microsoft has actually improved the Xbox brand outside of this perceived safety net we've given them. So I think them being able to call their own shots would be interesting. I think it would maybe signal some sort. No, maybe it wouldn't signal an exit from hardware, but it'd be maybe a little bit more difficult to maintain. Layoffs were pretty expected. How bad they'll be is a different story, and how telling it'll be to what Asha Sharma values, that kind of remains to be seen. It's a little too early to say with all of this. Asha Sharma certainly has restored some optimism, but this is her first bump in the road, if you will. Like, this is the first thing she's going to do that's going to piss people off after some easy wins with, like, shutting down Copilot and whatnot, or, you know, dropping a little bit of the price on Game Pass, that kind of thing. Dave Wonder is back. What's up? Would you mind explaining the Game Eye app for me? Like, could you go through logging a game in there for me? Just wanted to see how you do it. Yeah, Dave, I got you. So, let me open my app here. I actually have to use this to update my collection because I'm getting rid of so much stuff. So I have like a game section. You open the app and like all this stuff is just logged here. And then you press plus on the bottom right. And then I like the barcode scanner. There's an option that says barcode scanner. And when you open it, the camera, like you'll see like the camera is like, look at that. See? It's going to use your app. And then you'll scan the barcode. And then it'll literally log the game. And then you hit the check mark on the top right if you just want to log that single game, or you'll press batch mode. And so you can log multiple games at once. Like, you can just keep scanning barcodes so you can do all of them at once. And then it depends what games the condition of the game's in. So you have like game, manual, box, other, new. So if it's like sealed, you'll just click new. If you only have the game like as in the disc and it's manual, you'll just click those two. If you have it complete in box, you'll just click game, manual, box. And then you'll just log it in. And then anytime you're in a store, it'll just simply like be a thing you can pull out. And I look up my collection all the time. So hopefully that helped, dude. Sir, another Brad has hit the Xbox. Sure did. Twice. Beyond the Dune Sea says, you're purging your collection. I'm up to 13 unique copies of Skyrim. Duality of Man, for real though, great vid, and you made me think. That's all I wanted to do. Yeah, I didn't know if people would actually like it. I know people like on that channel when I buy things, so it was definitely like I wouldn't say a big risk, but it was like, how will people respond to me getting rid of shit? How will they feel? Will they kind of feel like, oh, I want to do that too? Or will they feel like, you're crazy, you should hold on to that stuff? There were some people who were like, I regret selling anything, like hold on to it all. I don't subscribe to the kind of hoarder mentality like that anymore. There are things you can get rid of, especially when I'm, in a lot of cases, getting rid of stuff I will never play. And in other cases, getting rid of things that I already own multiple of. There are certain things like you're talking about here Beyond the Doozy. Like I have tons of copies of KOTOR, tons of copies of like Persona. And I wanted to thin those a little bit. Like Persona, I'm going from like, I have 5 copies of Persona 3. Like I'm going down to like 2 or 3 if I decide, if I That is if I decide to get rid of them. But my point being is like 2 is enough. But I feel you on that. Sometimes our love is limitless. Nothing wrong with that. What's going on, Woot Boot? Thank you for your super chat, dude. Do they no longer bring you joy? No, Philip Burgess, before I answer your question, Woot Boot, Philip Burgess, just answer yours. No, like, there are tons of games that bring me joy, but there's ones that, like, let's see here. Like right here. Here's my Vita collection, right? Like, I'm very attached to my Vita collection, right? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it so the light is in the way. Dynasty Warriors next. It's Dynasty Warriors, but on the PS Vita. That's cool and all, but, like, I haven't played a Dynasty Warriors game since Fire Emblem Three Hopes. If I play another Dynasty Warriors game, it's not going to be this one. I'm going to play Origins, because that's one that I missed out on. Terraria is a game I don't like. All these Lego games are inferior. I played and beat Lego Batman 2 while I was at the DMV. Fun time, but, like, I like Lego Batman 2 on consoles. It's like open world. It's really awesome. Ultra Despair Girls, S. Do not like the game. I love every other Danganronpa, and I've replayed almost every single one of them. So that's the thing, is, like, there's just ones I'm just being realistic with myself. Like, what does this accomplish for me? Like, am I even just trying to get rid of stuff? I have over 700 video games. Like, I'm still collecting, but there are some games I'm just like, I'm never going to play you. And I'd rather limit my options so when I look at my backlog and I go to play stuff, I can actually make a choice. Retro City Rampage on Vita equals base. That was really cheap, Sotinist, if you're ever interested. I think I got that for like $17. Okay, to Whoop Boot's question. Glad to catch you live. You ever play much retro on CRT TVs? I got a 250-pound, 36-inch CRT behemoth plus an N64 and PS2. Very excited. Congrats. That's awesome. Yeah, I have a little CRT over there. You've actually seen it in the set of Retro Rebound videos before. And 1000% I use it. That's where I played Mega Man Legends. It was awesome. Yeah, like I really love using my CRT still. So I haven't really bought into upscalers yet. Not like as in I don't believe in them, but I haven't like bought an upscaler to just use my current TV and play old games on it. I do like the CRT retro aesthetic. It's very nice. Splicer, good to see you, man. Have you tried out Stellar Blade yet? It's peak. Yes, Sorenzo. Yeah. I've played a decent amount of Stellar Blade. I really liked it. I'm very excited for the new Stellar Blade game. I think that looks really good. Yeah, Ruben, I have so I just got rid of I'm getting rid of a bunch of shit. It's still here on the floor next to me, but like according to Game Eye, which I scan almost every game I get, sometimes I forget, it says I have 905 games. So if I'm getting rid of 138, I can't do that math in my head. You're gonna have to judge me for that. 905 games minus 138 equals, yeah, still 767 games. So a purge is like a dent for me. But yeah, that's again like why it was needed. It's like I have too much stuff I'll never play, and it's time to let go of some of it. Not all of it, but at least a little bit of it. Put it back out there for some other collectors to get. I'm shocked Bethesda took another backseat for announcements. Are you afraid expectations that ES6 could put a dark cloud over an otherwise amazing game? Sure. I mean, I think Bethesda kind of put that cloud on themselves, though. I don't think it's like high expectations for a great developer. It's like a developer who's struggling right now and needs to deliver, and people are wondering if they can based on like Fallout 4 Anniversaries, Shattered Space, the reception of Starfield, the focus on 76, the evolving design philosophies. Like Bethesda's unintentionally in a lot of ways, but they've brought that on themselves. So I would say, yeah, definitely like the expectations are putting a dark cloud on it, but I think that might be, after I talked to Locke, I mentioned in the video, after I talked to Locke and he was kind of like, oh, if they show it too early, like they're just going to get dogged on for years. It's like, that's so true. Like people are going to doom that game, even if it looks really great. I'm not even saying that to defend them. That's just like how it's going to go. So may as well show it on your own terms. The game's going to sell really well anyway. Dr. Muffin, thank you for your super chat. Hey, Maddie, did you see the Clockwork Revolution conversation on the InXile YouTube channel? I did not. I just saw they posted my reaction on their social channels, which was really nice. It was really cool to be part of that with a bunch of other creators. I didn't know what they were doing with it. They asked me for permission, which was also really nice. I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I'm for you guys, man. Like, go for it. Use whatever you want. But it was really cool to like see. I didn't go back and watch any of my reactions, so I forgot how like I knew I was very excited for Clockwork, but I forgot like the dance at the music and everything. I fucking loved that trailer. It was so good. But no, I'll have to go check this out. The Xbox did a lot of great supplemental information after their showcases, with especially Halo and Fable. So there's some stuff I missed. BPTF official says, what did I miss? What are they doing at what cost? So we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Xbox, we're getting an inside look at their margin crush. That'll be one conversation. The other will be that, according to the information, Xbox is green light. I mean, it's also in the thumbnail in the bottom left corner. Xbox is focusing on new Halo and Fallout games. And they're considering spinning the brand out of Microsoft, which is very interesting. Getting out from underneath that thumb. But we're finally getting new Fallout games, but at what cost? As in, what studios are going to go? What projects are not going to be greenlit as a result of them focusing on mega hits? So thank you for asking. Mythu says, I got a few games from GameStop and they gave me generic black box. I feel scammed, Matty. Mythu, I'm sorry, dude. I always tell people, don't do as I do on Retro Rebound. I do it so that you can see and avoid, not so you can also purchase. I had someone send me let's see if I can actually, hold on. I can definitely find this on Twitter. I responded to it because I was like, yo, that's total ass. Check this out. Where is it? I reply to a lot of people these days. What do we got going on here? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Let me get rid of the super chat for a moment here. Oh my God. What the fuck? Okay, I'm just going to do like the full screen. What button is this? There we go. You can literally see right here. Someone said like 0 for 7 on the GameStop roulette. And like, I'm just like, why are you guys playing the GameStop roulette? I was just like, yo, this is one of the worst. Look how fucked up the disc is, dude. I literally said, this has got to be one of the worst hauls I've ever seen. Terrible. That's awful, dude. So yeah, don't buy from GameStop. Not worth it. I do it to make fun of them, not so that you guys go buy stuff from them. Xbox says they want to move faster to Elder Scrolls and Fallout franchises. Seeing as far away as Bethesda Game Studios is from Fallout 5, do you think IPs will be extended to more studios? Which studios would you like to see? Yes, absolutely. I don't think it's going to come down to Bethesda Game Studios. Same goes for Halo. I think it's finally time to pull the trigger on the thing we asked Phil Spencer to do like 5 years ago now. In the case of Halo, it's been forever. But like with Fallout, it's been a hot minute. But yeah, I think it's going to be extended to more studios. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen to companies like In Exile after Clockwork ships. We don't know what's going to happen to companies like Obsidian, who had multiple flops last year, as much as I liked one of those games that flopped last year. You know, they do have Grounded, which is doing well, but would they be trusted with a big budget Fallout project? Do they want to do that? Are they equipped to do that? That sort of thing. Tim Kaine already said the project he's working on there isn't Fallout, which is a shame. All that Fallout town is there. But Obsidian and In Exile come to mind, of course. Larian would obviously always be really interesting. I'm just thinking of premier RPG developers. Obviously, they're going to keep outsourcing remasters to Virtuos. I think Fallout 1 and 2 remake is the natural steps after Fallout 3 and New Vegas get their kind of remasters, is just bringing back those older games, or maybe working with Beamdog to just do more of a traditional remaster of those older games, kind of bringing them back as fans remember them, and then maybe eventually remaking them. I think that's the route that they're going to take. Is I don't know. I mean, they could do plenty of Fallout spinoffs. I have tons of ideas for that, you know, but I think they're going to go with remasters and remakes first and foremost. Darth Ravik says, I think I need to purge a few games of my own since my revolving shelf, which I got thanks to you, is full. I feel that. That's exactly what happened. That's why I'm, dude, you know, Darth, this is powerful right here where my hand is. This right here, that space is powerful. It's like fucking 10 games. Thanks for everything you do for gaming. Oh, thank you. Very kind of you. Check out Whatnot for retro games. Lots of stuff. Yeah, Whatnot is pretty good. I do like Whatnot. I use it more so as like a secondary eBay, but definitely I don't do auctions on there often unless I really want to get something for like cheap, but you have to be like very in control. It's very easy to get impulsive there. We talking the 30-minute Fable demo today. I have a whole video ready to rock on that, actually. That is good to go for tomorrow, or depending on how this conversation goes with Fallout, we'll talk about it Sunday the latest. Because we might make a Fallout video. We'll see. Certainly, I got a lot of thoughts. When there's new Fallout shit on the horizon, I got a lot of fucking thoughts. So, yeah. But we will talk Fable. A lot of comments in yesterday's video just being like, yo, where's the Fable video? I apologize. There's just been so much to talk about this week. A lot of the news hit as well, which I wanted to dive on. But there's just been so much to talk about. Hey, we already got over 1,000 of you guys. Thanks for being here. It was awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Anthony Connolly. I appreciate that. Little Drag says, fuck from Xbox's showcase will forever be my favorite Matty quote. Gotta love Bethesda. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad my very natural frustration in the moment made the rounds. Very happy about that. You know, it's not often you get to say that about streamed content, but I'm very happy my natural just like didn't think twice about it. Just fuck, dude. Definitely got around. I saw a lot of people resharing the clip I had made for my video. Like I saw drawn out in his video about, I think it was New Vegas. Great video, by the way. Check it out. He had used the clip I had made about, you know, I showed all the reactions of everyone across the industry from different pockets who were like in the Bethesda community, out of the Bethesda community, general gamers, some people I'd never even fucking heard of. And the kind of general reaction of 76 was just like, oh, I'd be very, I don't know how Bethesda took that video. I don't, but I'm just glad a lot of people spoke up and supported the video because I think the fatigue is real. It's just they got to do something, bro. And I know they know that. They're probably keenly aware of that, but like it's got to shake up at some point, like quick. Sneaky said I also yelled out fuck. Yeah, dude, it's just like it's every time. Like they've completely watered down the meaning of the television screen intro. When you saw that used to be like a very special moment for you, and it's not anymore, and they completely killed it. I'll always remember the pit when we watched the I think it was the 2021 showcase, and you saw like the zooming out and seeing the location broadly. I'm like, holy shit, they're doing a new Fallout game. And it's like, nope, it's the Pit Expeditions, which I end up playing later that year and fucking tearing apart because it was awful and broken. H-Bomb says 76 just looks so bad. Yeah, I mean, it's got some great parts. Like I'm not a hater. Like I do think it's got some parts that I enjoy. It's Fallout, so there's a level of every time I boot it up, I'm like, nice. But then reality sets in every time. Every time. I'm delusional. That's what it is. It's going to be sad if stuff like Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush are deprioritized, but at their position, I don't think they can afford experiments anymore. Very well put. It's exactly what's happening. We're going to lose a lot of really great creative stuff, and if my opinion on PlayStation is anything to go by, I don't know if that'll always be a good thing. I'm trying to keep it equal and fair here. Like, I really like Xbox's publishing because they do experiments. I just think their experiments were not intelligent. Like, you could have done, again, Fallout spin-offs. Like, that's a well-measured experiment. It's different, but it's within an established franchise. Same with Elder Scrolls. Same with Halo, Banjo. Like, this legacy IP that you could toy around with, but instead you're like, let's do Keeper, let's do Kiln. I mean, I like Double Fine because Psychonauts 2 is fucking brilliant. But, like, you're doing games that I just don't think are it's not even about mass appeal. It's just about drawing an appeal, which those games I don't think were super successful in doing. Just Lions, thank you for your super chat. Good to see you back. Do you think Obsidian could actually make a good Fallout game now? I wonder if they know how to make a game in that world the best. I don't know if they know how to do it best. I can't say that for sure, though. It would be very interesting to see Sawyer and his take on it. Because I was just watching a video Sawyer posted about like his armor systems. Like, he makes a lot of videos about armor systems in games and how he's trying to find the perfect one. And it seems like he was responsible for Avowed's system, which I gotta be honest. Like, if I don't know if it was like primarily him, so I won't say definitively. But if it was, I'd be very surprised because it was not good at all, and it just felt against, I don't know, what the game was trying to do. It just took a lot of the fun out of it. But do I think Obsidian could actually make a good Fallout game now? Yes. Good. Not maybe great or excellent. But Outer Worlds 2 was really awesome. I loved how it ran, how it shot, the loot, the biomes, the questing and the choices. The main drawback of that game was the companions kind of sucked. So I would be very interested. I think for them, they almost have to. They between Grounded and all their other flops, like I think Fallout makes the most sense for them. So I'd like to see them try. I think there's definitely way worse options out there, and they would definitely be in like my top 5 of like, you know, I think they make sense. I think the reuniting as well, it just makes sense. I think there's a confidence in it being a non-Bethesda RPG, and I think that's something else that Bethesda has to reckon with, is that right now people would like to see their products not in their hands, or their IP not in their hands. So, Yeah, Personal Melon said Obsidian has a big writing problem now, and I would agree with that little bit. Like, there are some really awesome parts of the Outer Worlds, too. The faction quest line with, like, Auntie Cleo, or Auntie's Choice, sorry, I thought was really great. Like, I do sincerely recommend checking that out. Like, it was really good. It just comes in bursts, and the problem is the character writing. There are fine characters in the Outer Worlds, too, but I can't even remember the characters, like the cast name from Outer Worlds 2. That's all I need to tell that, like, it's not as good. But the actual, like, factions and stuff, their faction work is still pretty good, I think. Their choices and reactivity in the world remembering your actions, like, that stuff's great. I think we would all be hyped if a Fallout game was doing some of the things that Outer Worlds 2's systems were pushing. It's in a lot of way on a systems level, not quality and not writing, but on a systems level, it is absolutely the closest we've gotten to New Vegas. You know, like, it really is. That doesn't mean it's as good, but like it has all of the skeleton. That's why they should just make a Fallout game. But it's the writing. You know, you got to create characters with someone said and characters made with zero appeal. Yeah, Frosty, you're right. Like, you need to be characters with appeal. That's like what everyone's attached to. Everyone knows there's great writing everywhere. There's great worlds everywhere. But you need, I should say, great gameplay everywhere. Great graphics, great frame rate. You can find that. But what really, like, I think grabs the hardcore now is, like, thought-provoking characters. Well-written, visually appealing characters. Not being able to join the Protectorate was a miss. Yeah, huge mistake there, too. Good call out. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, Outer Worlds 2 not letting you join the villain faction was fucking stupid. I was like, what? Like, are you kidding? I feel like they'll change that with an expansion, but right now in the base game, I'm like, what kind of idea? Whose idea was that? Especially for how long it was in development for. Claymorix writes, Clockwork is Game Pass day one. Is that a death sentence combined with exclusivity? I'm worried. Is it a big budget game? It's definitely a big budget. Yeah, it's been in development for a while. Is it a death sentence? I'm sure the port is close to ready, where I'm sure it's fine. Combined with exclusivity, look, as we'll talk about with these profit margins with Xbox, they're at 3% now. That's fucking awful. When they were doing a combined exclusivity and Game Pass, they were at 12% in like 2022. So I look at it this way. I think their goal is to return to that first. That is at least much better than where they're at now, where they've overinvested. Studio acquisitions have fucking buried them. Like, it's just a bad look. So I think they want to get back to that, which they can through the traditional model as they have before. Granted, even in 2022, there was more of a buy-in to Xbox hardware, more of a supply ready. But I do think some games are going to be sacrificed, and I do think Gears and Clockwork are kind of being sacrificed. And at the same time, though, Xbox has not had, in my opinion, extremely appealing new IP to a broader demographic. They still have Gears and Fable and Gears, Halo, and Forza, but Xbox fans have known that since the very beginning. They need new IP to pull people in, or the return of big ones. Fable not being exclusive probably hurts their chances of people buying hardware. Clockwork is actually a new IP. So was Starfield, and like Starfield is a whole different conversation now, but at launch it was pulling people in. So there is that worth considering. But I always say it's about user retention right now. That's kind of been my rule of thumb, just keeping people here while they figure things out. Not like for just a long period of time, but I think it is really about making sure the current Xbox customer doesn't leave, because they lost a lot of them last year. Millions of people unsubscribing from Game Pass, like, that really hurt them. So I'm not worried for Clockwork per se. I do think there's a level of, like, Xbox probably had a talk with 8Xile leadership, with Coalition leadership, basically saying, like, look, you're probably going to sell less copies. We know this wasn't part of the plan. They spent millions of dollars QAing PS5 versions of their games. We'll take care of you. Basically, we'll spare you from the purge. I'm sure that's what happens, but think of Bluepoint. Bluepoint took the fall at the start of the PS5 gen, and they were like, okay, we'll do Demon's Souls Remake. Like, we're going to sell this to a very limited audience, and, like, they're out of business now because they were put on a live service game. So, always a little concerning. You never know, right? But I just... NXile is such a great team, man. I would hate if anything happened to them. Matt, if you played any of Troika's games, all three are worth checking out, and you have to play Arcanum before Clockwork. I should play Arcanum, because Fargo did bring that up a lot in our chat. I've not played any of the Troika games, though. Complete blind spot for me, so it's something I do have to educate myself on. Good call out there. Wooboot writes, do you think some Obsidian stuff could possibly be canceled in order to get them onto a Fallout game? It's hard to say. That team is fragmented into a lot of different projects. We know right now about Grounded 2. We know about Tim Kane's game, and that might just be it. I hate to say it, I could see Obsidian getting hit with layoffs. I really could, because, you know, they did have 2 big flops last year. Avowed 2, sorry, that's also on the docket for them. So it's 3 games. This end of June into early July will be crazy. It will be crazy, because it's going to be like, if Obsidian gets hit with layoffs, we'll probably get inside reports on what's getting canceled. It's going to be tough. Dave Wonder. Just want to say thanks for remembering every time I come back. Makes me feel welcome here. Thanks, man, and also keep up the great work. Oh, my pleasure. I try to remember as many of your names as possible. I'm like a full lid, and so things are always spilling over, and then as new things are being dropped into it, into the pot. So I appreciate that you have a very memorable name. It's your love of Prototype. You know, the profile picture and making it like your whole I love that shit. But my pleasure. I try my best to account for as many names as I can. David RM says, it's been a while since I've been able to catch a stream in here since Ham Radio podcast days. Thank you. Appreciate that. I will try to keep up the great work. Synchros, wait for it. Wait for it. So here comes the rake. A-Bottle writes, imagine a Larian Fallout like the originals and a Warhorse Elder Scrolls. What would be your dream studios that had the spinoffs? You kind of just said it. Like, I'm dead serious. You really did just say it. CD Projekt Redwood Fallout would be also really interesting, because they do an amazing immersive first-person RPG. So, yeah, like, take any top-rung RPG developer in our industry and, like, throw them my favorite IP, and, like, I'll take that all day. I do think Larian with Fallout is a very, very specific fit that is a dream game. Like, think of my reaction to Last Ronin. Think of my reaction to Fate of the Old Republic. I'd say Fate of the Old Republic, where I'm like out of my seat and screaming, and like I'm like also stunned, and I'm talking about it for the entire showcase. I think Larian on Fallout would be that times 3. That is how deeply I desire. Like, I did not get to grow up during hardcore role-playing Fallout, right? I was on the ass end of that. So I played Fallout 3, amazing game. New Vegas is pretty hardcore, but I love that game. But like, I want to play like a Baldur's Gate 3 style Fallout game, as in like the choice and consequence everywhere. It's brutal. It's punishing. So the people who fucking the people who harassed me during the Fallout 4 days when I was a fucking teenager covering that game, and they're like, you don't get it, bro. Fallout 1 and 2 were real RPGs. I'm like, I want to know that feeling of like being there for the release of a new Fallout game that is hardcore as shit. Not what Bethesda's been doing lately, where they've turned 76 into a looter shooter, or Fallout 4 is a looter shooter, or Starfield's a looter shooter. I want a role-playing game more than anything. If Larian made Fallout, you would hear the scream echo across the planet. I cannot emphasize it enough. I know Larian said they were interested in Fallout, right? They did say that in an article, and I just like... I made my video on that. I was like, I'm using my fucking platform, and I know my audience is going to feel the same way for sure on this one. Let them know this is something we would absolutely want. So someone in the boardroom can go, and that's it. But I just, fuck, man. God. Fuck it. Give Elder Scrolls to the Sky Oblivion team. Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, I like that Sky Oblivion and Elder Scrolls remaster, or Oblivion remaster, can kind of coexist. Very keen for Sky Oblivion to finally come out, though. It's been a while. Night Dive doing Fallout 2 would get me so excited. Yeah, Night Dive's a good candidate. I like that. Ice Cap Lord, always on the cutting edge. I like that. Good point. In Exile or Larian for a new Fallout game? These are my babies. My 2 sons. With the way In Exile's kind of trending into that direction of first-person hardcore RPG, I wonder if after Clockwork I'd have a different answer, you know? Because one could support a very hardcore role-playing modern Fallout game, like first-person shooting and everything, while Larian could do the old-school shit. Why not both? I'm picking Larian between the two right now because I'm in love with the idea of a more classic Fallout style game with the presentation of a Baldur's Gate 3. I think that'd be fucking amazing. I do have one dream Fallout game. It's a spin-off game. I have it written down on a piece of paper because one day it is my dream to make it. It is not like a hardcore RPG in the sense of like when I say that, I mean like, you know, grounded in it's in the Fallout universe, but it's a spin-off game idea. But I never share it because I'm like convinced. I'm like, I think, give me like a decade. I said, I think I can get this pitched and presented, and it would be fucking amazing. Give Elder Scrolls to Ken Levine and Elder Scrolls 6 released in 2250. Come on, don't go after my man like that. He's gonna make the wait worth it. Come on, don't go after Ken. Leave him alone. I'll protect Ken till my final moments. What's going on with that Fallout Doom mod that popped up last year? Oh yeah, Bakersfield. What is up with that? Has there been any updates? Doesn't seem like there are any updates. Oh, here's a Reddit post 1 week ago. So what happened to Fallout Bakersfield? The creator's last progress updates, last one was in April, are on his Boosty page, viewable by supporters. Okay, so yeah, it's still going. I mean, it's a mod, so those things take ages. Do you think Xbox releasing Halo campaign evolved on PlayStation is them trying to get more Halo fans interested in Xbox exclusive Halo 7? I'm going to say no, actually, because I think this was just them going for money. Like, I think it actually is the simplest answer in this case. From my point of view, they were reaching for money. Halo remakes are safe and easy. It's a way to get a new audience in. And I think new Halo, like, mainline stuff, I mean, like, Infinite flopped in a lot of ways, but it also, like, the player count was crazy versus multiplayer. Like, it did rocket out of the gate. It just had nothing to sustain that player base. Like, it was just over so quickly. But Halo's got a lot of interest, is my point. I think it's just a matter if they just wanted remake money, and it was easy money. And I think Halo Studios is in obviously a really shitty spot. I'm really curious how hard they get hit by this new restructuring that's happening at Xbox. But I think they just needed easy wins because their games always end in disaster. And so that's why this Halo game's largely outsourced and is probably going to release in a timely manner. Good question, though. But yeah, I think it just comes down to money. Just more money. Because that was kind of that was a greenlit decision by like Phil and co at the time. Thank you for your donation. We appreciate you. Jonah Virtue says, what's the news? I just got off work. Are you going to play the next Divinity game? Also, GTA 6 versus Godzilla. The Big G has beef with all. Welcome, Jonah. Good to see you. Am I going to play the next Divinity game? Absolutely. Anything from Larry and I will play. They have had a fan in me since the first Divinity Original Sin. So I'm not been like a lifelong fan, but that I discovered them when I was in, it was 2014. Yeah. So I was like late teens. So yeah, I've been a fan of them since. I love them. The news though is going to be, we'll get into it in a few minutes here. Actually, we've been sitting here for how long now? Let's check. Yeah, 43 minutes. Yeah, we'll get started in a sec here. We'll do our first story, I should say. But the story is we're going to get into Xbox's margin crush, and we're also going to get into how Xbox is considering spinning out the brand, and also that they're planning new Fallout and Halo games and what that means. So it's going to be a good talk. Batman's butt sack. What's going on, bro? Iconic name from LSM lore. Will you cover Godzilla Destroy All Monsters on Retro Rebound? It's getting a remaster and was a staple of my dweeb-ass childhood. Love your videos. I know the expectation is I will. I'd probably be doing a lot of GTA retrospectives at that time, to tell you the truth. At the same time, though, I also don't have any history with this game. And I try to, pardon me, pick my remaster coverage very carefully because I know it's the expectation I'll be there for all of them because I am retro. But I feel remaster reviews only work if you either A, have a lot of history with it and you can speak to the quality of like what's changed or what has stayed. And then when it comes to the other end of that spectrum, I think it's like, here's my brand new fan take. And like, you have nothing else to offer other than that. Like, I think those two can work, but with Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, like, is it a game that there is a lot to say about? Like, it's a fighting game, to my understanding. So we'll see. Play it by ear, but I wouldn't promise anything yet because I know I'm going to be doing a lot of GTA retrospectives. Marvel, Alex Mercer, the prototype. We got a lot of prototype fans here. We've been farming them lately. Marvel Wolverine gave me Origins PS3 vibes, man. Let's fucking go. I am with you, dude. That is why I'm hyped for it. It looks spectacular from the nostalgic point of view, and I am all about that. Nate B, I agree. With all these games coming out in September and February, I fear the majority of them will be dead in the water. Yeah. We're starting to see some move, like Valor Mortis did get out of the way, which was cool. I think that was smart. It's coming out in October now, and I think a lot more games are going to move. Thank you, Parker. I'm glad you're excited. Yeah, I'm excited to do the GTA videos as well on Retro Rebound because there's so much of GTA I haven't experienced, and I think a lot of people are going to have some fun in the kind of lead up to Grand Theft Auto 6. Just like, hearing thought. Like, I've played San Andreas, but I haven't played 4, so that'll be fun to kind of give some thoughts on that. 3 for the history, and then Vice City I completely know nothing about, so that'll be fun as well. What is your favorite retro gaming console? Why you gotta ask me a tough question like that? Vita's got my heart, but that's not retro. That's just older compared to where we're at. I guess that is retro, older where we're compared to at now. But like retro, I imagine you're thinking like early 2000s, late 90s. I think I got to give it to the original Xbox. PS2 is my biggest collection, but the original Xbox missed a lot of those third-party games. But original Xbox just has so many important exclusives. I'm looking at my shelf right now. Blinks the Time Sweeper, Death Row, Fable, Fusion Frenzy, Halo 1 and 2, Jade Empire, their Microsoft Studios sports division like NFL Fever, the 007 games, Shenmue 2, huge. The Star Wars games, they had Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy exclusively for a while. They had Republic Commando exclusively. They had KOTOR 1 and 2 exclusively. TMNT games, Voodoo Vince, just fucking great library. It's so good. So good. Yeah, if we're considering 360 and PS3 retro, I think I might have to give it to the 360. What a great era, man. What a great era. Are you a console or PC guy more? Man, I'm in the middle of an identity crisis. I might be more of a PC guy right now. I'll be honest with you. I play on my PC a shit ton, and I'm most excited for my Steam Deck, or Steam machine, because I get all my Steam library and I can play it in my living room now. It's gonna be awesome. But I also love the convenience of a console. I think I'd be more of a console guy if I had a better chair. I inherited this chair from my wife's boss, and I was like, oh, it's a placeholder. I'll get a new chair in like a couple of years. Well, a couple of years have passed. I still have the same chair, and I don't know what to do. So I have a really shitty setup right now for console gaming, believe it or not. It's so uncomfortable. So I like to game at my PC. What do you think of the Fable gameplay trailer? Absolute cinema. It's awesome. Jack of Blades, Sword of Aeons. Come on, dude. It's over. It's over. This game's going to be great. Gameplay looked really good, too. Like the actual combat. Really good stuff. We have a full video coming out this weekend on it, so I'll dive deep. Epic Storm. Thank you for your super chat. Have you done a Dead Rising 2 retrospective? Or how have you felt about Dead Rising series in general? Do you think there is a future for the Dead Rising series? I think if you're Capcom, everything has a future. They have not neglected anyone outside of Dino Crisis fans, who I think are going to get their due soon as well. But I've not done Dead Rising 2 as a retrospective. Dead Rising series in general, I played the first one via the deluxe edition, and I fucking loved it. I thought that game was awesome. So I think there is a future. I think that's why they do those deluxe editions, those remakes and remasters. I think they're testing the waters, seeing what people are interested in, and then kind of building up that base to eventually do a new mainline entry. But yeah, bro, like I personally, Really enjoy it. But I played Dead Rising 2 on 360 when I was in high school, you know, because my friends and I were always looking for co-op games, and I got filtered by the game's like time limit and its combat system. Struggle with that a little bit. So it's a game that now as an adult I think I would appreciate more. Be the Proof says, have you ever exchanged games at your local game store so many times they told you their store is in a library and refused to do more with you? No, I've never dealt with that. I've had games I've like tried to trade in. Like I just hand them like a whole backpack and they're like, we'll call later and we'll let you know. And they'll usually hand me back a few games that like, usually it's like the super online ones or the super cheap ones where it's like 13 cents or whatever. And they're like, you just take this back. And so you just donate those. But I've never had that where a local game store said like, hey, this isn't a library and told you like, we're not doing business with you anymore. So I don't know if that's happened to you, but I've not heard that, but I believe it could happen. These retro game stores have limited money. Thoughts on Dragon Quest? Have a favorite? I don't have a good answer for this one. I like Dragon Quest. I think it's very warm blanket, cozy RPG. My favorite Dragon Quest is Builders 2, but for like the mainline stuff, like I haven't really fallen in love with it. It's just very cozy. Great music, great visuals. I think that works for a lot of people, but I think the combat, I'm usually not like a combat bro, but the combat's so fucking boring. Like it's very old school and not in the good ways, like in the frustrating ways, like an old SMT game even. Like it's just like, I get this is for a particular audience. As a JRPG fan, it's weird to say, like it might not be for me. This Elder Scrolls music in the background made me donate. This is Algerian currency, by the way, roughly $2. Well, thank you for... No worries. We appreciate any donation. It all helps. It all goes to the same place. Thank you. But I'm glad you enjoyed the Elder Scrolls music. Yeah, we always have it on in the background. I don't think we'll ever change that. Waxier. Or Waxier. Longtime fan of your channel. First time catching you live. Thanks for all the content. Mwah. Thanks for being here, dude. Raging Ryan. By the way, Maddie, I've been watching since 2014. Glad to see you still killing it, bro. Also can't wait to play Elder Scrolls 6 in 2090 on my deathbed. Yeah, dude. Just like one more Elder Scrolls game before I go, please. Thank you. But thanks for being here for so long. Certainly a lot of ups and downs. Do you also struggle when games have multiple paths and you're afraid to go down the main one and get locked out of the side paths? No, I kind of love that. I kind of love replayability. I love when games are like, sorry, door's shut. I love that. I think they need to communicate it to you in a way that's not like overly communicated though. Like, you know, keeps you within the narrative and what's happening. But like, you know, like these doors are about to shut. There are certain games where you just know that's the case. Like when you know, old BioWare was a thing. Like, you know, there was just a pedigree there where you're like, oh, this decision means everything. But I love when there's multiple paths and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? I wish it happened more often. That kind of choice paralysis. It's a great feeling. Apollo says, great minds think alike. I'm just getting worn out by seeing the continued watering down of RPG mechanics in games. Yeah, like a lot of skill trees and not enough depth. So I'd like to see that change. Yeah, more RPGs. You know, again, like Bethesda, I love their flow. You know, I love how a Bethesda game feels to explore. I still think they do it amongst the best, barring Starfield. Like, but 76's map is like visually intriguing, and like that's a big part of their games. But they got to really, I think, start. They originally had the excuse of like, hey, we don't make really hardcore games because that's not what everyone wants. It's like, okay, we all agreed with that for a while, but then a lot of games like Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring started to break through, and it's like, you guys can make Fallout really like nut crunchingly difficult, and I think people would fucking eat it up. Have you ever played 7 Samurai 20XX? It's a PS2 exclusive. I've not heard of that, Dave. That is a new one for me, dude. I'll have to look that up. I'm getting a lot of random ones. Coliseum Road to Freedom. Best RPG ever made? I can't tell if this is someone's trolling me right now. Coliseum. What is it? Road to Freedom. Hybrid fighting role-playing game loosely based on the Roman Empire. Hang on. Let's see what's going on here with this game here. You got me curious now. Coliseum Road to Freedom PS2 gameplay. All right, this is from Timeless Gaming. One sec, guys. Let's watch this together real quick. Then we'll jump into the news. Okay. Just just gotta see where the RPG in this all is. Okay. Arm yourselves. Okay. This is such a PSP ass game. I can smell the PSP port on this. What training will you do? What is this? What is this Persona? I gotta see this shit.
That's right. That's right. All right. Good. All right. Good. Good. That's right. Good.
I'm just curious to see where this goes. Okay.
That's it. Great.
Oh, you level up. Arm level. Wow, interesting. Hey, thanks for putting this on my radar. This is pretty fucking cool. If I see this, I'll actually pick it up. That looks like something I'd play. I don't know. Seems weird enough. Digimon World in Rome? I mean, that's true. That's basically what it is. And then we got one more super chat and we'll dive in here. Stefano! This is random. What are your thoughts on Lords of the Fallen? The game looks great, but I constantly hear mixed things. I just picked it up on sale for $9. I'm sure you'll enjoy it then. I played a little bit of it. I wasn't like too crazy about it. It just felt very stiff, very clunky. And that kind of took it out of me because I think a lot of what a Souls-like game does well is its feel. It had a really good idea with that sort of dual reality thing, but otherwise, trying to think. Not much to be said. I don't know. I didn't play a shit ton of it. I do like what they did with like the co-op pass or the friend pass, like that sort of stuff. They seem to listen to their community pretty well, but I'm also not super tuned into the company or that makes it or whatever the sequel is, like Lords of the Fallen 2. But honestly, like for $9, think you could do worse. I bought it at launch and I dropped it, but I think for $9, like seems like you'll probably enjoy it. Probably good to play with a friend. All right. Let's and Darth Monkey says Nixon 5. Hey, how about that comeback, bro? I'm just saying. Let me get the music off for a sec here. I'm just saying, dude. Pretty fucking nice. All right, let's do our Matty Slop here. Shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Claw, good to see you back. The Brad Curse interrupted the discussion of Asha versus Phil question on DD yesterday. Any chance you can answer it on the next show? Yeah, that totally derailed us. That's so true. Yeah, 100%. Resubmit it. Just ask it on the thread. We'll happily do that. And kind of talk about that. Yeah, that completely. It was funny because Cog was in the middle of it, but yeah, that's gonna be a good one to revisit now, and then revisit it in a month when Asha makes some decisions. That might actually be a good time to revisit it. Have you talked about Fable yet? They were really pushing the morality angle in the video. Yes, I do talk about it extensively in an upcoming video. I almost dropped that video today and chose not to stream because I was like, I bet a lot of people are going to ask me about this, and I feel really bad. And here we are. I was like, I got to keep the stream schedule. I was talking to the mods beforehand. I was like, I got to keep the schedule. I always end up flaking out on the schedule. I got to let you all know I'm going to be here Tuesdays and Fridays. Stellar Blade 2 Combat remind me of Godhead. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Fuck yeah, I love that. All right, let me pause super chats for a little bit here, guys. Let's get into the news. Y'all have been super patient. Thanks, man. Get rid of Brad immediately. I know. We can't let Brad back into the realm of the Dukes. All right, let's just make sure everything's lined up here for Jez's article. Okay, cool. We're good. All right. We're just basically going to be focusing on this entire write-up here. All right, let's do this. That's true, Uncharted Wolf. We're getting like double the people that usually show up, and we appreciate that. I hope you guys are enjoying these things, man. Like, we have a lot of fun hanging out, and so I know we got a lot of new faces coming in because the Xbox news is hot, but once it slows down, we hope you continue to show up. All right. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to spam your meat emojis in the chat. We always love to see people just getting involved because the slop is about to begin. All right. I'm parched. Let's do this. Start recording. Ladies and gentlemen, the good times, well, they're about to end. I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, Xbox has been on a really great run for a while now. A lot of great decisions back to back to back. Everything from killing Copilot to decreasing the price of Game Pass. We love to see it. But now we're starting to see what happened to Xbox on the financial end that led them to some key decisions being made that have hurt their business. We saw Asha Sharma and Matt Booty did put out a whole post talking about resetting the Xbox business in the next 100 days. What that'll lead to has only been reported on in the ideas of layoffs coming in a massive way, but also a potential studio closure. It has yet to be plural, but we'll see where it all goes. We're going to see what Asha Sharma values, but what led her to having to make this decision? That's an interesting part of the conversation that I want to have with you all. And the way we're going to get to the bottom of that is thanks to this wonderful article, which, by the way, I'm Matty Sloppy. We'll have linked in the description down below. It's by Jez Corden called Inside Xbox's Margin Crush, a string of misses at Xbox Game Studios, misguided Game Pass decisions, and the memory route at its core. So if you're wondering why Xbox did what they did, the 30% profit margin, you're going to get that answer here today. If you're wondering if Game Pass is worth keeping around, I think you have a better idea today than you did yesterday. So we're going to talk about all that Xbox has been facing on a financial level. Frankly, in these last couple of days between Asha Sharma's post and this write-up and what's going on, we're getting more clarity than ever before on Xbox's financials, which is something they've always been very keen to hide away. So I do appreciate their transparency because I think a lot of what has hurt Xbox is the wondering. Are they okay? What's going on? Is this good? Is this bad? And that's why companies, the fan base leans on firms like Alinea Analytics or Circana. All we can see is you're in first place, but we don't know what first place means in the terms of sales numbers. I wish the industry was more transparent with numbers, which is what we're starting to get a little bit of here, whether it's leaked or not, because it allows us to more comfortably have a conversation about what's actually happening with the things that we care about. Although obviously it'll be used as like fanboy fodder, but that's inevitable. So with all that set up, let's have a read, shall we? I'm not even kidding. Every paragraph here, there's something to take away. So we'll be reading it top to bottom. Make sure to give Jez and the homies at Windows Central a click. Absolutely worth it. Okay. Tough decisions are ahead, said Xbox CEO Asha Sharma. This week, Xbox CEO Asha Sharma outlined stark warnings about the health of the Xbox business, noting a 3% accountability margin delivery and a drop year over year. How did we manage to get to this point? A string of misses, a massive memory crisis, and a circle of incongruous subsidies have led or have made Xbox's business model buckle under its own weight. Here's what I've learned over the past couple of days. So we got the inside reports. One major aspect of Xbox's margin crisis revolves around Xbox Game Studios, I'm told, where a variety of high-profile misses and difficult integrations have seen other parts of the business subsidize the losses. So what you're going to see a lot of here is basically there were parts of the business that were succeeding and they were filling in the gaps for those who were missing. And there was just a whole lot of that going on. Microsoft has seen some major wins for its titles, of course. I'm told Age of Empires, Flight Simulator, and of course Forza Horizon have all been success stories for Xbox Game Studios, as well as things like Sea of Thieves, Oblivion Remastered, and Grounded. So their live push era, or the non-sexy games, have gone over swimmingly. Like the games that you see at the showcase, you go, for most of us, right? The hardcore gamers, we go, okay. Anyway, that stuff is doing really well across a lot of their studios. So those teams should be relatively safe. However, much of the profitability for these projects was cannibalized, at least in part, by some misses. Games like Avowed, Keeper, Kiln, South of Midnight, Hellblade 2, Forza Motorsport, not Horizon, and The Outer Worlds 2 did not come within range of expectations set by Microsoft spreadsheets. I'm told either in terms of raw sales on external platforms or via Game Pass engagement and retention data. So that's a key distinction, right? A lot of people always try to offset the conversation of like, well, it's a Game Pass beast. It doesn't really need to sell, right? But what we're seeing here is that games like Avowed, Keeper, Kiln, South of Midnight, Hellblade, Forza Motorsport, and Outer Worlds 2 were not only failing to pull people to spend money, but they couldn't even get them in at the lowest level, where Game Pass could be something at the time that was before the price hike, bought, played, and then you could refund it. With games like Keeper, especially, or South of Midnight, Brad and Dustin from LSM did this, where they would play these games on Game Pass and then cancel their subscription and get a refund. So Xbox would spend, I know this isn't like a massive problem, it's a huge glaring issue with their Game Pass subscription, which they finally tidied up on. But Xbox was spending millions and millions of dollars making these smaller games, and then people were getting to play them for free. And there's such a thing as consumer friendly, which I want Xbox to be. And there's another thing such as being incredibly foolish, right? So these games were getting beat out, not just on buying them, but also no one wanted to play them. And I think that will communicate a lot in the decisions that Asha Sharma is about to make. It sounds like companies such as Compulsion, such as Double Fine, and I think Obsidian, because of a couple of flops, are going to get hit pretty hard here. I think Ninja Theory might be a little okay because they got Senua on the horizon, but we'll see. You never know. There's always an unpleasant surprise. Other canceled projects like Perfect Dark, Everwild, and ZeniMax's Blackbird also represented huge amounts of investment that ultimately went nowhere. Inertia at the initiative in particular was a huge drag on Xbox's profitability margins, and disruption at Undead Labs was also notable following the departure of founder Jeff Strain, although the latter is on track now and it is looking promising, which I can agree with. That game does look great. But yeah, there are games like Blackbird, which they never made money on. That was the ZeniMax Online Studio game that they were making that had like crazy movement system, third-person shooter. Like, honestly sounded amazing. That team was super passionate about it. Easily the biggest tragedy outside of that was the initiative failing, right? So these things have a cost, and that's what we're about to learn too. Jez writes, indeed, Fable 2 has been an incredibly tough project to put together, given that Forza Tech had to effectively be built around a genre it wasn't designed for. In the early days, there was much debate about simply building Fable on Unreal Engine owing to mature tools, in-house expertise, and support studios, but Forza Tech won out. It could end up being a good thing in the longer term, as I'm told Xbox is increasingly looking at leveraging its in-house engines over external vendors to reduce costs. But at least for now, Forza Tech, extended Fable's development out further than it otherwise might have, which might explain some of the delays, but also this gives clarity for those of you who watch all the Mr. Matty videos. You'll know that in the 5th bullet point that Asha Sharma and Matt Booty posted about like, hey, we need to focus more in-housing engineering, I couldn't really find a great answer for that on what that may be. I think we just got it. More proprietary engines, less Unreal Engine, because they take a big cut of that. And obviously, if you're shipping on multiple platforms, there's another cut that could happen. So worth keeping in mind that might be something like what PlayStation does with the Decima engine. But we can see here it really hurt the development timeline of Fable, which has been long overdue and then got delayed again, this time because of GTA. Microsoft also canceled a run of third-party projects at various degrees of lost investment, including a shooter from John Romero and a very costly vehicular service game project from Avalanche, which you might remember as Contraband. Many other projects within Xbox Game Studios and via third-party publishing also didn't meet Microsoft's expectations, including the likes of Minecraft Legends, Ninja Gaiden 4, Minecraft Earth, Bleeding Edge, Towerborn, and others. This is where we kind of get to the awkward conversation of Xbox will have to stop experimenting like this. Ninja Gaiden 4 is a miracle. It's such a shame it didn't do as well as they would like to have. But they also funded games like Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess with Capcom. More like a strategic funding so that I think they could get partnerships going. But nonetheless, dude, even Minecraft stuff is failing. Obviously, Bleeding Edge is to the surprise of no one. Towerborn went completely away from the sensibilities of Stoic Studio, who, for those who don't know, was the developers of Banner Saga. And that's an amazing RPG series if you haven't played it. Probably the closest we ever got to like saves carrying over, kind of like Mass Effect. It's really awesome. But I get the bets they were making, but Xbox was basically funding experiments in ways that have blown up in their face. There are more logical ones like Ninja Gaiden, but still, get the point. Xbox's CSO, Matthew Ball, signaled an intent to double down on fewer tentpole franchises. Microsoft has been investing in Blizzard to boost production on franchises like Overwatch, Diablo, Warcraft, and soon StarCraft as well, for example. Microsoft has also been frustrated by the lack of a new Fallout game to capitalize. You think you're frustrated? Bruh, you think you're frustrated? I don't want to hear it. There's one man I'm blaming for that. It starts with Phil and ends with Spencer. Unbelievable. Microsoft has been frustrated by the lack of a new Fallout game to capitalize on the TV show's runaway success, for example. There's also Halo, which I'm sure nobody will argue, has been maddeningly mismanaged in recent years. That's another one. I'm so curious what they do with Halo Studios. We will see. Where all this leaves Microsoft's AA Productions remains to be seen. there seems to be room, or less room than ever, in the industry for games that aren't laser focused on grabbing attention in what is arguably the most competitive entertainment medium on earth right now. Well said. Microsoft and other companies love subscription model services because it gives you a steady stream of revenue among hits and misses of regular game development. Here's where we get into like Game Pass and what it's been doing for the Xbox business. Microsoft hasn't been shy to admit, someone's booed this man. Microsoft hasn't been shy to admit that its $30 price hike last year absolutely battered the business model. When you consider that Xbox Game Pass has been subsidizing departments that haven't been able to fully deliver yet, you can imagine what kind of damage that did on top of everything else. Indeed, the notorious 30% accountability margin target, I'm told, was actually an average. Some parts of the business were operating up to 40% profitability margin to offset the misses in other parts. That's fucking absurd. That's absurd. 30% was already absurd, way above the industry norm. We're going into 40s? Yeah, dude, that's insane. But this is what happens when you cripple your own business and you need to like overcompensate. Games need to do way above the expectations that ever could be realistically set. This is something we've seen in companies beyond Xbox, by the way. Name a better combination than high-ranking executives who know nothing about games setting expectations in an unfair place and then blaming the game for failing, even though it could technically be in a place of success. Like, oh, only 10% accountability? Only 10% profits? Puh. Ugh. No more of that. That's ass, dude. We needed 30. Greed, man. I'll tell you what. Putting Call of Duty into Xbox Game Pass cannibalized both sides. As players fled the $30 price tag, I can't read, there was less money for Xbox Game Pass to subsidize Call of Duty's cannibalized sales for those who remained. The model broke under its own weight and had to be reset back to a lower price, wiping out a year or more of growth. To make matters worse, Xbox struggled to secure anywhere near enough memory with fixed prices necessary to keep its hardware margins healthy. I'm told Xbox is losing not dozens, but more than hundreds of dollars per Xbox Series X and S console right now, with Asha Sharma noting that wholesale memory prices have risen 700% since the Xbox Series X and S was costed out. And obviously we know, based on the letter, that's only going to get worse. So this is an interesting revelation because I talked about just in our last stream, I was like, a lot of people are talking like Xbox and other hardware manufacturers need to make money on these sorts of deals when it comes to hardware. Like it used to be a thing you subsidize, you lose money on the hardware sale, but you get them on your own storefront and you make a lot of money there, right? That's how it was going. You get them on the software. It seemed like people were talking like they had to make money on the hardware, but now Xbox is technically losing more than ever and they're charging more than ever. It's crazy to think about. That's how bad it is. Provided this is accurate, which I trust, Jez. With Xbox unable to acquire hardware to sell to find new members in the Xbox Game Pass subscription, which has been the pot of money Xbox has been using to subsidize other parts of the business, once again, the model began to break down. It was then that Microsoft was also using Activision Blizzard profits to subsidize Xbox, but when Call of Duty had an off year, once again, it compounded the problems for that subsidy. So this is, again, like, it's a noose, bro. Game Pass is the lifeline, but I said it for years. Game Pass is the lifeline, but it's also the thing that's going to choke them out. And same thing with the Activision Blizzard acquisition. It just brought so much attention to the business, and they were trying to use it as a news source to stabilize their failing first-party studios, when those failing first-party studios should have had projects greenlit from the acquisition, like, here's an easy example, Bethesda is purchased, you're doing a Fallout video game. You have to do a Fallout video game. But I think the combined nurturing of relationships and letting people kind of do whatever and no outsourcing of the IP at the very least has hurt them dramatically because they inherited a wealth of IP, did nothing with it. Game Pass could not subsidize everything, and therefore they had to go and buy another company with the biggest game on the planet in Call of Duty to once again subsidize those losses. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I mean, it's endless, dude. Continuing on, Xbox Game Pass going to $30, Call of Duty having an off year thanks to Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, and generalized backlash to its weird skins. And to be fair, Jez, it was a fucking terrible game, Black Ops 7. And the artificial intelligence compute gold rush on memory all coalesced for Xbox at the wrong time. This is before you... Oops, sorry, I'm totally out of frame here. This is before you even consider the existential issue of Gen Z and Gen Alpha simply not caring about traditional console gaming at the replacement level the industry would like to see, which... I find it to be the smallest concern of everything, personally. I think that the younger generations are waking up a little bit to physical media, to value of entertainment, to putting your money where your mouth is. And I think it's not always as simple as you make good things and they will come. I know that's not the case. That's a little foolish optimism, but I think there is a level of truth to it. And that consistent good things would lead to a successful business for Xbox. So where do we go from here? Microsoft has a number of levers that it'll likely explore in the future. Nintendo has already been flirting with $80 games, and I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft gives that another go with some specific games. Jez, please don't put that into the ether. We would appreciate that. Microsoft will also likely look to OEMs to produce Xbox Helix-style consoles for specific markets, reducing or avoiding tariffs, supply chain problems, and shipping costs. I could see, for example, Microsoft fully licensing out the Xbox brand to Asus to build Xbox Helix for China, Taiwan, and other markets. They've also done as much with the Xbox Ally. Perhaps we will see multiple SKUs of Helix, perhaps with a bring your own NVMe, SSD, and controller to bring down upfront costs, which is something I just talked about in a recent video, saying how I think they're going to go the memory card route to kind of bring it back to the old shit, right? For Game Pass, Microsoft could explore pulling some of its biggest and most expensive games out of the service. Forza Horizon would likely sell huge amounts still without Game Pass. I could also see Microsoft add some kind of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Plus model where you pay a bit more and can pick premium games you want in the service, like Call of Duty, for example, or World of Warcraft subscription. I also think we'll see a cheaper Xbox Game Pass tier powered by ads from Bing. Oh boy. Ads, here we come. There was already that debate online. Matthew Ball shut it down, but we'll see where that all goes. That's the one thing that's getting lost in all these rumors is that Xbox was flirting with this idea of some new Game Pass tiers. One is that newly announced starter edition that we saw with the Discord partnership. The other model that also hasn't been talked about too much since all these rumors are flying around now is the kind of a la carte approach to Game Pass, like kind of picking what you want to have within that service and what that can lead to. Like, hey, I, Matty, do not want to pay for Fortnite and Friends. I don't want to pay for the Riot shit because I quit League of Legends because I had a horrible addiction to it. So I don't need all the champions in that game. Can I reduce my Game Pass subscription price and just get Xbox first party games? That's what I want. Would that work? I don't know. I do think that right now Xbox's goal is to get themselves back to where they were a few years ago, right? Right now you're at 3%. That's awful with everything you have. Okay, you invested a ton and the brand is in the worst it's ever been. So going back to like 2022, where the profit margin we heard was like 12%. Not so bad all of a sudden. Especially with Satya and Amy Hood and the rest being like, yeah, we kind of fucked this thing up, dude. We might want to just back it up and let Xbox do its thing because it is the worst it has ever been. You just got to wait and see. So I think step one is getting to that. And since that accountability margin was hit with Game Pass existing as it currently does, just cheaper, and exclusives, although very few of them. You know, think about it. 2020 was empty. 2021 had a lot, but it was at the end of the year. 2022 was barren outside of Pentiment and Grounded 1. And that was just 1.0. By the way, Grounded was an early access game before that, so people already knew what they had there. It did really well, but you get my point. So I think the goal is to use the old plan to get us back to that 10%, you'd hope. And then from there, maybe you can start flirting with something a little more disastrous, if you will. Go a little more big, go a little more ambitious here. Let's wrap up Jez's right up here. He says, on the other hand, I'm not sure why Microsoft will want to reduce the desirability of Game Pass Ultimate, given how much it has been subsidizing other parts of the business and given its reliability as an income stream. But like Call of Duty, perhaps they'll just spreadsheet out the idea that some titles would end up making them more if they were separated out. I do think Forza Horizon, as Jez mentioned, does hit this qualification. You could argue Elder Scrolls 6 would also be in that conversation for those who care about it. I think we'll also sadly see some Xbox studios either spun off as indie, as was the case with Toys for Bob, or placed under the reins of another publisher like Tango. I certainly hope not, but many in the industry and inside Xbox are expecting studio closures too from within Xbox game studios and potentially the cancellation of some third-party projects that haven't been revealed yet. So yeah, that's the wrap. That's how we got where we're at, dude. Obviously, I feel bad for Asha. You know, she inherited. I will still continue to go on record until I'm proven wrong. I think she inherited a way worse business than Phil inherited to start off the next generation of consoles. I think the path was clear, but the content was there over time, and then the acquisitions they made were handled terribly. But you see how we got here now. And so Asha has to try to undo all of this. And I think step one is truly getting back to basics because that was at least doing better than what's happening now, which is why it makes a lot more sense. She was so ready to go in the opposite direction. It's clear what happened here. Phil was getting ready. I think not even getting ready. Phil was and his team were like, it's over. We're going to give them the off-ramp with the premium Helix, and we're out. Asha has decided to fight, and that is the best thing I think you can say about her right now. Now, we will see what that ends up being and what she truly values, so I will not speak too highly of her. But that is why I think the difference in direction exists, because it was making them more money. Maybe not exactly more money, but their margins were better. And there are already rumors that Xbox is potentially going to get spun out of Microsoft. And if that is the case, they can set their own goals. Holy, can you imagine? So a lot to take in here, but an excellent report by Jez that once again, please give him a click. This is the type of reporting that we really need in the world of gaming, but especially Xbox, as things are constantly changing. So very huge report here, and obviously eager to get everyone's thoughts on it. All right, I know we've got a lot of super chats I missed, and I know there's been a lot of chats. How are we feeling about what's going on inside Xbox's margins right now? Are we feeling we get it more now? Are we feeling that a lot of what's about to happen with Xbox just is a necessary evil? Are we upset? We still feeling hopeful? Like chat? What's the tea? What's the temp right now? How are we feeling? Let me get this up to Emmett in the meantime really quickly. I'm keeping an eye on chat here. Give me 1 sec, guys. Sorry. I'll turn on the music in the meantime here. Okay, there we go. Got it up for Emmett. All right, let's see how we're feeling. Has to happen, long overdue. Why feel bad she chose the job? When I say feel bad, I don't mean like, oh my God. Like, I mean, yeah, she's going to get paid a shit ton of money. Like, she's good. Like, I mean, feel bad. Like, there might not be a way out of this. Uncharted Wolf feels bad. What optimism was built by the showcase is gone. Yeah, J-Rods, I feel bad, man. I feel bad for the fan base. The fan base was really feeling themselves, and I think rightfully so. I was feeling myself. I was not, oh, we're so back, but I was like, dude, yes, like, I fucking love Xbox, dude. Like, I want them to be here. And it's not like they're going anywhere, but they're about to massively change again. No doubt about that. Ah, there he is. He's in chat. Ember's Arcade. Emmett's about to be handed the generational edit. Emmett, I hope the family's doing all right, brother. All right. Let's see here. Let me get this file over to Emmett, so we can get this out to the slot base, because I failed to get anything. This has been so busy on my end. I apologize to the slot base, dude. I feel so bad about how little I produced over there these last 2 weeks, so I appreciate you guys bearing with me. Hey, that bubble needs to pop. God, I wish so. What do we got here? Why don't executives ever take pay cuts to keep creatives around? Instead, they give themselves big bonuses and lay people off. Hey, look, dude, I agree. Like, I mean, there's a reason why. Nintendo did the right thing during the Wii U generation. Like, they took pay cuts and, like, you know, because that business was failing at the time. So, yeah. They aren't about to go anywhere. I wouldn't be so sure about that, at least as you know them to exist. That's fair, Master Jangle. Yeah, that's fair. I guess when I say, like, they aren't about to go anywhere, I mean, I feel like the last resort plan is Xbox gives up on hardware and goes fully into software, where they no doubt would make a ton of money, right? I think that is fair to say. But yeah, they could dramatically change from what we know them as, for sure. Let me go through some of these super chats I missed. Sotness said somehow indie devs can be creative, but suddenly Megacorp is too poor to fund anything that isn't Mountain Dew Doritos approved for exec and investor payoffs. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of people with money who don't know how gaming works. That's a big part of the problem too, no doubt about it. Indies also have less to like I don't like, for example, technically, okay, I don't like to talk like this because it sounds like I'm taking in the power or something. Technically, I'm the last say. Like, I'm the final say guy for our project. Like, I am the creative director. I do fund the project. So like, it's my investment. So, like, I get final say. Imagine that, but the 5 Matties, and, like, they all feel they have final say. It's a lot more difficult. So indie doesn't have to deal with that shit usually, unless they're, like, even then they're smaller, so the chain of command's quicker. So there's a lot that gets in the way. But yeah, it's frustrating how AAA moves. That's why a lot of people are fleeing AAA and trying to go to indie teams. We've got a couple of people who are working in AAA who are joining us in like a little bit. It's just like they just don't want to be part of this shit anymore. Epic Storm. Oh, this is so kind of you. Hi, Maddie. $50 Australian is about 35 USD. Just supporting. Thank you. You guys, thank you. Yeah, I don't want to be rude. Yeah, just thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't want you guys to feel like you ever have to explain anything to me. Like, you know, any donation is super appreciated. How do you feel about Resident Evil Veronica remake? Are you looking forward to it? Absolutely. I'm going to play Code Veronica on GameCube in preparation as well because I want to kind of see the before and after. Apparently, there's more of a reimagining, but anything Capcom, I am in on. Super, super big on. So thank you for your support. But yeah, like I am very excited for this because just the fact that, dude, I dream of the day my favorite IP get like the new mainline entry. It's absolutely sick. And the following year, here's a new remake. God, dude. Oh, so thank you. Thank you for your support. But I cannot wait. I can't feel bad for someone that makes millions. Yeah, maybe. Okay, I guess I clearly misspoke. When I say feel bad, like, again, I'm trying to explain it in a way where it's like, I'm trying to be a little human about the situation. Like, she inherited a fucking mess, you know? I don't think she accepted it not knowing it, though. But I appreciate you guys speaking out. That's very fair. Chicken Win says, I want a new Fallout game, but I think some books or comics would be cool too, even if they are considered Elseworld. Yeah. Where are the Fallout books? God, dude. Make me the brand manager. I wouldn't drop everything else, but I would think about it for a moment because I just like, it's so obvious what you got to do. Yeah, Michael Dorsey said the same thing. Asha chose her job. Why feel bad for her? Emmett, you might want to... Emmett, if you're still in chat, can you put like a text on screen when I say I feel bad for her and just like use the clarification I mentioned earlier, which is like, I'm just saying like, I know she chose the job. She was not blindsided by it, but I just, you know, like, man, she's stepping into a pile of shit. Feel free to directly quote that, I guess. All right, Whoop says, what are these rumors about Xbox getting spun out of Microsoft? What exactly does that mean and where do those rumors come from? Those rumors come from The Information, which is a reliable outlet. What exactly it means is that Xbox would be functioning like LinkedIn or GitHub, and we'd be operating independently from Microsoft. And it would mean that they could establish their own metrics top to bottom and operate how they want to, not be beholden to Microsoft, who has not made Xbox a better business. So a lot of people look at it like it's so over. And I'm like, do I not know what I'm talking about? I'm like, I think this would actually be fucking way better for their business. But it's also, again, optimistic thinking. Emmett, thank you. Love you, bro. That's where the rumors come from. We will be talking about that next. I don't know if that'll be a slot video, but we'll be talking about that next. Is it possible they decided to make a lukewarm return to exclusivities to soften a blow of what was coming? Just a thought. It depends how massive of a shakeup. If it's like really like fucking rocking the boat, like big time, dude, maybe a little bit. But this seems, again, to me more like keeping the base here and spending amongst it all. Like at the end of the day, these games are here. It's not like we're getting rid of studios, we're firing people, we're not making what you want, and you can get our games anywhere else. They're like, okay, I'm not spending on your platform anymore. So we'll see. Possible. Does Microsoft sell all of Xbox or certain IP? I could see it going a little bit like Embracer. I think it's too much for them to manage. I don't know if you spin Activision out to be independent again. I know that makes them a lot of money. I'm not saying they should. I think they want to hold on to that. But Bethesda has been a really awkward acquisition. They've completely gutted them. They're never happy with them. A lot of the main people they bought at Bethesda. I mean, that wasn't even Asha's acquisition, so she's gotten the love for it. There's a lot of options. There could be teams like Compulsion that are just kind of let go. I don't know how that works, if they can like do what they did with Tango and find them a new home. Let the Warhammer Space Marine 2 devs do something with Gears. That'd be sick. Good question, though, Bam. Maddie, you're awesome. You're awesome, too. Thank you, dude. I know I missed a couple of super chats while I was recording the slop. Let me catch up. I don't want anyone to be left out here. Okay, I missed one from CKF who said, Maddie, there's so many promising World of Darkness games coming out. We might finally be back. Yeah, so I think you were the same one who wrote in asking, like, what's going on with World of Darkness. And yeah, look at that. We said HDR Death Wish. We have Rageborn. We have Eternal Whisperers. Yeah, dude. It's awesome to see that it's getting support, you know? It was in a weird pocket for a while where they were not exactly giving the fans what they want. But I saw they were doing like a CRPG of some kind. That was really cool. Beat the Proof said, we're looking forward to the retro rebound on Coliseum. Give it time. Ice Cap Lord says, Keeper and Pentiment are nice to have, but don't move consoles. Acquiring all those indies during Xbox One would have only worked if they had proven IP to supplement them. It's like Sony expecting Puppeteer to sell PS3s with no Uncharted. What else do you have to say? Once again, Ice Cap Lord fucking cooking, bro. This guy never misses. Give this man the microphone, please. I don't need to be here. Be the Proof said, boo this man. Draconic Frost said, I heard they are prioritizing funds to Fallout and Elder Scrolls for the next massive exclusives. And it's like, okay. Yeah, Draconic, it's like, okay, we're going to get what we wish for. More Fallout and Elder Scrolls is on the way. But will people all be able to experience it? Or will it just be the Xbox fans? And will it be good? Is the other question. Okay, I caught up on the super chats we missed. And now we got a couple more. Fallout, thank you for your donation. Thank you. Crazy profile pic. Thank you for being here. Fable looks good. Looks DLSS 5, but good. Judge DLSS 5 too soon. Are they using DLSS 5? I don't know. It depends how it looks like without DLSS 5. That's part of my point. Because, again, like what happened with AI upscalers and how we started to have games running like shit without them. I think games are now risking looking like shit without them. But if I missed that information, I'd love to talk about it. That'd be news to me. It does look very good. Like, no doubt about it. Like, just going off the eye test. Like, yeah, dude. That'd rock my world a little bit. Zeno Gilly. Hey, man, I just want to say I enjoy the content, gaming news. Been watching for 9 years now. Glad to see you still going strong. Thanks, guys. Long tenured YouTuber here. I'll tell you what. Been doing this for half my life now. It's always fun. Always awesome. Ross Clapper says, if they get spin-off, they won't fund R&D for hardware. I also wonder if they'd have to get rid of Game Pass. I don't know if they get rid of Game Pass. We saw this showcase like a lot of commitment to Game Pass. A lot. Like Persona 6. That fund is still strong. I don't think that's going anywhere, especially now we know how much it like subsidizes their losses. I think it stays, but I think they might have to change. If they want to sell exclusives, I think they might have to change how you go about buying or getting access to those games. The glazing is very much appreciated. Hey, compliments are always nice, dude. Compliments are always nice. Day 1000 of asking Cog and Maddie for the hot tub stream. Give it time. Gotta rent the hot tub first. That'd be amazing. An episode of Defining Duke recorded in the hot tub. I'd have to get a little more jacked for that, though. Cog is shredded. I am not. I have just I'm a piece of meat. So I would have to do a little something. Tom Henderson just said Gears E-Day's budget is 400 million plus. Radic, are you fucking serious? Oh, that's just not making profit at all. Let's do some dirty. Like, I'm doing the shittiest math. All right, calculator. It's $70 a pop. Okay, 400 million divided by $70. Okay, so okay. Xbox fans, will you show up? In almost the 6 millions. It obviously has to be more than that. But actually, I don't know. What? No, it's on Unreal Engine. It will definitely have to be more than that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Just joined the stream. See Maddie isn't a piece of meat. Glad it's going according to schedule. Indeed. Man, why is all this insider news coming out on Xbox now? Wow, Spyro's Reignited Trilogy sold over 11 million copies, which helped greenlight Spyro Realm Beyond. I love how it took that much. That's an excessive amount. Okay. I'm looking for the Tom Henderson tweet. Where did Tom Henderson say this? Need to put that PS5 port back in the oven. Because negative Xbox news sells. I don't think so, dude. When things were up, I take it as someone who's covered Xbox through the highs and lows. Like, things were doing just fine for me when news was good. People want to be excited about Xbox. At the same time, are people more inclined to negatively cover Xbox through this generation? Yes, I think that is fair. I don't see no 400 million. Yeah, I don't. He said on his podcast, Check Gaming Leaks subreddit. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, everyone was like, it's not true. I'm like, Raddick would not mislead us here. Okay, let's go to Reddit, Gaming Leaks and Rumors. Yeah, fucking Reddit with this new like approach like they did with Twitter where it's like, you have to be signed up. Okay, here we go. Yep, here's the post. And it's time stamped. Okay, let's pause the music real quick and take a listen, you guys. I will increase the volume, by the way, so fret not. All right, and then let's max this out. Get ready. Here we go.
Showcase that they made a late decision to change it.
Saying she
kind of
shattered the relationship.
Kind of proved that they made a late decision, and then you have like, no, it wasn't a late decision. We just kept under the. I'm sorry, when your own Xbox podcast thing, your video direct comes up and it shows Gears E-Day coming to PS5, and then you have to immediately take it down. That is evidence it was a late decision because you have to tell the production staff of, hey, we need to fix this right away. Like,
I mean, yeah, like not to get into all of that stuff, but like I heard that it was 5 or 6 weeks ago that decision was made. I don't, but I would consider that a late decision because I mean, you're a multi-trillion-dollar business and you're making decisions like that on a whim. And I do think
that's all they've been doing lately.
I do think that Gears of War not going to PS5 is a cheap win. I'm sorry, I do. Gears of War's budget is insane. Like I've heard upwards of $400 million. That budget.
Guy's reaction.
Wow. And let's be honest, it probably wasn't going to make money even if it was on PlayStation. But no, it's definitely not going. Like who's buying an Xbox and Game Pass for Gears?
Wow. Okay. Raddick, thank you as always, bro. You've always got my back. Appreciate you. Okay, we're fucking with Gears being a commercial flop out the gate unless it sells extraordinary numbers. That is pretty fucking intense. That team might be frustrated. I wonder how they're feeling. I love Troy Baker. I wonder what his next game is. Yeah, after Mouse. Like, I'd love to see him do something small again. I'd love to see him come back for Persona 4. That would have been cool. Happy Friday, everyone. I can't wait to see what comes next for Fallout and Persona in the future. My man. Love your taste. Hell yeah, me too. Happy Friday to you as well. Thank you for supporting the streams. Let me get back to chat here. Higher budget than Spider-Man 2. Yeah, true. Even if it looks like we got a rough ballpark number. Even if it's like the 300s, still crazy pressure. I mean, the game looks excellent. I'm glad I can look at the game and be like, okay, I see the budget. I don't know if it'll be, it's so interesting though, because some people are like, oh, it's just more Gears. And I'm like, yeah, that's also not something you want to communicate to your, to your audience. It's like, we spent an enormous amount of money on this game. It's now guaranteed to sell less than it ever would have. And a lot of people think it's just more Gears. I think you can sell 3 million copies out of the gate easy. Game Pass though, like we've seen Forza Horizon has such a massive demand that like it's like Game Pass is just a bonus. Does Gears have that pull? It's hard to read because we haven't gotten a new Gear since 5. I want to say that was 2019. That was day one Game Pass days, was it? When did Xbox begin that for first party? I don't have the exact date. When did Xbox start putting first party? $2018. Okay, so that was day one. Okay. So Gears 5 was day one. Got it. Okay, so yeah, we haven't really seen Gears try to compete on the market since then. We got Hive Busters. Interesting. It's gonna be tough. That's a tough battle right there. Can Gears do what Forza did? Does it have that pull? I mean, you look at the sales of Reloaded. And you'd assume it doesn't have the same pull it used to. I thought Reloaded was going to do a lot better on PlayStation, but it didn't really sell much at all. If estimates are to be believed, like 1 million copies. That's a core franchise that they just gave up for like not really much gain. Gears 5 did sell around 3 million the first day. That we know of. Okay, good call out. That's a good bit of data to look up. Just we'll type in the simple Google search. How many copies did Gears 5 sell? Let's see here. The game business writes Gears 5 sold 750,000 copies in Europe. Gears series sold over 41 million copies. We have this. Oh, this segment next article is gone. Try and find the source for 5 million. Yeah, this doesn't even have like sorry. This is like another one where like the wiki would source it all, but there isn't even anything on this. And then all the other like Reddit and stuff, they're kind of estimates. I mean, it sounds like Gears 4 and 5 did well enough, obviously. But 40 million, it's like, okay. I guess let's do what we did for Horizon. So, according to this post here, 41 million copies as of 2019. Okay. So then here we go. We got 6 plus. When was this taken though? 2009. Oh, so we don't really know. Oh, these numbers are not going to be super reliable. These are dated. Okay. Forget it. We don't really know for sure. It doesn't seem like. I've never been a Gears fan. Can you tell me if it's something I'm missing? Yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing co-op gameplay, really emotional story. 1 through 3 are excellent. 4 is basically the Force Awakens of Gears. It's like very safe, very familiar, but also fun. And then Gears 5 has a lot of high highs, but very low lows. The second half of the game is incredibly weak, and the ending sucks. And obviously, as you can tell, because they're doing a prequel, they don't continue it. But Gears 1 through 3 should be experienced. It's very good. If Gears E-Day doesn't have the cure for cancer on disc, it's over. That shit better end racism and sexism when you install it. Not with that multiplayer, bro. That shit's going to be ramping up. If people are going to be wall bouncing everyone, two-piecing each other, it's over. You think these Fallout and Elder Scrolls 6 comments are a lip service, or do you think they're actually ruffling feathers over at Bethesda Game Studios? What do you mean by the comments? Are you talking about like them actually making more of these games? I don't think that's lip service. I think that's like the only choice they have. Like these are their most valuable IP. Like they need these. They need more of these. So could it be ruffling Todd's feathers? Yeah, potentially. You know, like Todd's a guy who really believes in missing something for a while. So telling this guy like, hey, you're going to be missing out on that type of thing in your business model, which their business model is heavily banking on, like the surprise factor and the missing things. It's why Oblivion Remastered, despite its issues, killed it, because people were just hyped. They just wanted it. That's all that mattered. So taking one of Todd's like key marketing things he likes away, I imagine that will ruffle feathers. Also, Todd had the relationship with Phil, not Asha. $400 million, and they're putting it on Game Pass and took it off a platform that outsold them around 3-1. Okay, yeah, at face value, it doesn't look very good. This looks like completely bolstering the base more than anything. If there were roughly around 35 million Game Pass subscribers based on a quick Google search, an average of $15 a subscriber, they make that back in 1 month, I think. That's if it's going right into that pot. But yes, I get what you're saying. But clearly it's not enough, because if like Call of Duty's losing like it did last year, and let's say just in this abysmal world, Gears is losing, and let's say Halo doesn't do what it's supposed to do, but Forza really does what it's supposed to do, and Game Pass continues to do its thing, is that enough to subsidize those? And is it worth keeping those in the business then, is the next question. So I don't think it's a problem of making the money back. I think it's a problem of consistently releasing enough things that as they're spending, like it's just as simple as we spent $200 million on this product. We want to make $400 million off of it. So we want to make the $200 million back, and we want to make either another $200 million. So we just double, or we're going to 400. Like that's our goal once it's all said and done. So I think they can always cancel it out. They get enough money coming in from, GTA is coming out this holiday. Third-party sales could bring them up a level. It could be that as well. Like, there's a lot of things that could help their business. But it's once they offset it, you could justify anything on a spreadsheet. Is kind of how it goes. It's actually something that Sean Layden said. Like, you can always math it out to make it make sense. Like, we took this money and put it over here, even if you didn't really. You can see some studios being upset they're subsidizing for underperforming studios and games. There's that too. There's the bonus payouts, like for certain sales metrics. That's what Colin and I were talking about a little bit, is like, I'm sure there are people at Gears well, Colin was saying that, this is his scoop, not mine, that apparently Call of Duty developers or a Call of Duty developer was bummed out about not being on PlayStation because like there was, because they could, what was exactly what Colin said on the episode? He mentioned that this Call of Duty developer was like, yeah, they're not like thrilled about not having the PS4 version because their bonuses are structured in a way where like when they get more sales, they get more of a payout. And the PS4 base is massive still, and people are still buying games over there. And so if they can't support that anymore, then they're losing out on a ton of money. So yeah, This is all interesting. The economics of it all. Very interesting. I'm starving, dude. Oh yeah, I just realized, I was reading chat. I'm like, I realized I was answering Machine XP's chat about subsidizing. I just gave you guys like a fun fact. I'm so sorry. I was like reading everything else. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not cooking. I'm just like, I'm hungry. So yeah, like when like you're losing out on sales there as well, like I think that can upset studios. And then also when the other sales I don't think it's like taking it out of the common worker's pocket, but I don't know for sure. But like when you're also subsidizing other losses, that probably means less going into the studio. Yeah, not super ideal. As you can see, I function at like 50% when I'm starving. All I had today was, let's think. I had some kefir. I love my kefir. Great yogurt drink. I had some of that. What else did I have? Peanut butter toast. And then after the podcast, I had a banana. And then I quickly had a piece of bread and some Tuscan tomato salad. And I need more. Your boy's hungry. PC shows up for E-Day. This is the Masters of Unreal Engine. This is the first UE5 game to me. Remember they did that Matrix demo? Hashtag they did that. Oh, Mikey with his chest out. It's true. PC base might show up. Might show up in a big way. Hmon approving of the breakfast. Yeah, my breakfast was pretty undefeated. Peanut butter toast, banana, kefir, like, fuck yeah. After that though, I wasn't really cooking, literally. PC and Xbox would always be the majority of sales anyway. Yeah, but they also spent a lot of the resources, like a lot of that $400 million-ish budget was spent on making the PS5 version. So taking that out of the equation just means it was wasted time and money. Those ports don't just come online. Not that you're saying that, but like, that's why it's a factor. It's like you spent time and money making that thing to sell it to help offset things. So, yeah. Nerf Ninja says, with no Arc Raiders or Battlefield this year, will COD see a better 2026 just from no competition in the genre? I am sure. Yeah. I mean, there is GTA. And I know it's not a direct competitor, but I'm just saying, like, that's a big budget franchise that appeals to the masses. And so is Call of Duty. And I could see people being like, oh, I get Call of Duty every year. But also they could be like, I'm going to get COD. I'm going to play that until GTA and then I'm out. I don't know. But yeah, I could see COD doing decent this year. I mean, it's a Modern Warfare game. People love Modern Warfare. I personally am of the mindset of like, I don't know how people still care. There have been more bad Call of Duties recently than good ones. Modern Warfare 3 fucking blew. Black Ops 7 was awful. I enjoyed Black Ops 6. This sort of, like, at least it used to be consistently decent. There's just been so many more that are bad, like disastrously bad. And for the money they spend, I don't know how you get there. Lucas says, or really asks, don't just every AAA just cost hundreds of millions today? 400 million is not a crazy number. Yeah, they cost a lot, but I think it's about spending that much versus how much you're going to sell. And then making your game exclusive, which I like that it's exclusive. I like that they're going to make their platform more valuable. I think that as they would put it, validating the interest in the platform is very important. $400 million is not like crazy in the sense of like, whoa, oh my God, I've never seen that before. We've seen companies spend more on that. I think Dead Space 2 was like how many million? I think 500 or something like that. Like we've seen more be spent. No doubt about it. GTA will be more money for sure. Like there's plenty will cost more. But I don't think it justifies just because everyone does it means that it's okay. You know, you could argue it's part of a bad process. And it's why a lot of companies are outsourcing to the East, whether it's Europe, India now, Korea, Japan, China. These are places where it's cheaper to hire a game dev. Dexter's Joe, welcome. Happy to have you here, dude. Hey, Matt, how are you doing? Keep it the work. Let's go, Knicks. All right. I love that everyone thinks I'm like a diehard Knicks fan because I'm from New York. I appreciate it, man. I mean, I'm rooting for the Knicks. I've been watching all the games, but I'm a total fraud bandwagoner. I'm just hoping they win because maybe it'll pass some good energy on to my Mets and my Rangers, who I would kill to have a team like them. Like a Knicks team, except they're wearing Mets jerseys. People who actually fight and win and defy the odds. Boy, would I love that. El Perro Vacilon writes, would you be into checking out Stalker 2 again with the engine update and DLC coming this year? They dropped a new trailer yesterday claiming this summer. Yeah, there's just so much coming out this summer, but 100% going back to Stalker 2 it's been on my list for a while. I really liked what I played to Stalker 2. It's an awesome, awesome time. So, yeah, dude, like I'd love to. Phil Aroni, my NFL team's the Falcons. Let's not talk about it. We're going through another major change again. I'm a fan of a lot of shitty teams. So my brother was a Falcons fan since 2004, so that's what got me on that bandwagon, in case anyone's wondering. I'm an Oilers fan since 2010, just because when I've been a Rangers fan my whole life. But then when I love watching hockey. So the West Coast and the East Coast alternate their game schedules. So there was always off days I didn't get to watch hockey. So I always wanted to have a team in the West to root for. And when I was playing NHL 10 or 11, I remember being good with the Oilers and just thinking, I think I'll just watch them. And that has been rough too, because they were my one chance at watching a team in my lifetime get a championship. Mets in 2015 as well. Almost got to experience that. I've been a Mets fan for a while now. I was indoctrinated as a Yankees fan, but I guess I escaped that in my teens and joined the Mets fandom. That's been, I mean, I feel so many emotions with the Mets, man. I love the Mets. So at any sports team, I love the Mets. I hate that I love the Mets. It's tough out here, dude. We spend more money. We're the Xbox of sports. We spend more money than anyone else, and we still lose at times. But then we have these moments where it's magical. Oh, this is a good question. What do you think Elder Scrolls 6's gimmick will be? I think it'll be ship riding and city building. So I think they're going to take settlements and turn them into cities. And then I think ship riding and like instead of crafting your ship, like as in spaceship, it's going to be like your boat. And I think you're going to kind of Assassin's Creed Black Flag it a little bit. So that's where my head's at on. Those are the two key gimmicks that come out. My Braves taking that belt to the Mutts rise up. Yeah, what's the score right now? Hold on. What what are we cooking here? I haven't been able to check the MLB app all day. What do we got going on here, Mikey? Well, it's a delay, Mikey, but yeah, true. They're probably gonna. It's Nolan McLean on the mound today, so you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get there. Whoop whoop. Thank you you've been very generous this stream. Thank you guys, all of you. Could that Gears exclusive more indicate they're more committed to the Xbox brand and building it going forward, regardless of short-term losses? Do we know what else is going on with Gears, reusing eDay assets in the future? I think that last part is exactly where I was going to go with it. We're hearing a lot of developers do this. When I interviewed Ken Levine, he had mentioned that he wants to build something quicker next time, reusing what is in Judas. It sounds like he already has a plan for that, but they need to focus on shipping this first. CD Projekt Red is the best, most vocal example. They want to ship a whole trilogy in like a 6-year span. They were like, we're dropping DLC to do that. And no doubt they're going to reuse all of their asset library. I think all of these companies are building asset libraries to deliver more frequently, because I think one of the problems is gamers are getting disconnected because development timelines are so long. Anticipation builds up, excitement builds up, and disappointment is the result. Not for all these companies and examples I'm using, but I do think maybe reusing eDay assets would be part of the play. Obviously, they're going to support multiplayer in some way, but I think if you're going to do it, I don't know what eDay is going to end like, but I think they might do like an eDay sequel or something like that to just, build a new trilogy. Just build a new trilogy before the original trilogy. And that could just be what it is. I don't know. Man. I think that should be the play, though. That's, what all these companies are doing for a while. That's why you got Gears in like a whole generation. They just completely went away from the game plan. Falcons fan, this Saints fan wants his super chat money back. Who that? Yeah, look, man, like I don't flex my Falcons fanship at all. I'm very quiet about it because like I just, you just watch the games and you see the squad, the potential, what we can do, and then you see where it ends up. It's very disappointing. It's agonizing. There's no blowouts for us. There are these games though where it's like, oh, we really put it together. Like that we are in such a weak, shitty ass division. It's like, dude, we could just run away with this with a 500 record. Like that's all we need. The bar is so low. So like the Mets, I think what will happen is the Falcons will finally get decent. And then, like, they'll face a Dodgers super team. The Mets finally started to spend, and we're getting good. And then the Dodgers showed up, and they're like, we're going to win every championship in baseball. Thank you. That was it. The Mets aren't the Xbox of sports because the Xbox is the Maple Leafs of gaming. Next year's the year. That's a good one. It's hard to argue that one. I think it's the Mets because they have real Mets energy. The spending, the money, the love, the adoration. It's all there. The potential is there. But Maple Leafs are a good second one, right? When it's playoffs time, it's time to show up. All the potential is slowly being realized. But it's like, oh, next year, if we just put these two pieces together, we'll be there. Thoughts on the Ocarina of Time remake? Is it really coming in 2026? I would think so. I actually think Nintendo could be, I was talking to Brad about it, Nintendo could be the one to challenge GTA. Are those bases that similar? F the Aints, Mr. Matty Ice, we back. Oh. Matty Ice isn't really cooking though, I don't think. Like I'm very, I question a lot of his managerial decisions, to tell you the truth. Bro, we had Austin Matthews for what? I get what you're saying, Ice Cap. I get what you're saying about Austin Matthews and your cup window. I get it. But like the Xbox window opened and closed immediately. Think about it. 2023 was when the Xbox window opened. When Xbox got all of their exclusives online, like, oh, Hi-Fi Rush. Oh, here comes Forza Motorsport. We're going to forget about Redfall. Here comes Starfield, right? Like all these things hit and we're like, it's time, man. The momentum's here. Like, okay, they're building now. 2024, top of that year hits. We are going multi-platform. It's like, oh, fuck me, I'm in St. Louis, but from New York. I want to piss off my dad at a Cardinals game with a sign that says, hey, Dad, the Yankees and the Cardinals are better than the Mets. You should totally do that. Cameramen are always looking for that shit. That'd be hilarious. Oh, do you think Game Pass will still be around in 10 years? That's a broader question because I do feel subscription fatigue is very real. And I think there's a place for it, but the way companies have operated solely off of it, like a Netflix, shows that I don't think they want it to go the direction some people want it to go in, which is like, I want to buy my media. I don't want to consume everything. I don't want to be inundated with choices. I want more limits, if you will. And subscriptions are the opposite of that. It's endless content, bottomless. Pay a small fee, get a mountain of things to go through. I think it's tough for this service to stay standing for a really long time, just by purchasing habits and sort of what it's done to the rest of their business. But I think if they can solve those problems and not use it as a sort of subsidizer, but an actual steady income, when I say that, I mean like they're not using it to offset fuck ups, but instead like it's just functioning as is. It's money coming into the building. It is true raw profit. Then yeah, I could see it sticking around. It's a big part of their motto and has been for a while. Brad said your taste in mac and cheese sucks. Why would he say that? My mac and cheese taste is great, dude. We love creamy noodles. Pause. But that's like, it's the best kind, right? We're not breading our mac and cheese here. Chat, there's over 1,000 of you here. You guys aren't breading your mac and cheese, right? Not in this house, right? We're not doing that. We like Kraft mac and cheese, right? Right? We're eating it the right way, correct? Team fork or team spoon? Right? Right? No foolish answers, man. I don't want any tomfoolery in chat. Maddie, grow up. Spork. Yeah, Spork's a little bit of the mac and cheese hack. It really is. We like boxed mac and cheese here. Okay. Annie's mac and cheese all day. Team Spoon. I like that we got some Team Spooners here. Cog's fork habits are a little disturbing. Because Cog likes the breaded mac and cheese with the melted cheese on top of your already, by the way, cheese on your macaroni. Like, it's just so unnecessary. So excessive. You know? But Cog likes to stab it. Me, I like to scoop it. Okay, we got a lot of spoons here. Team bare hands. Yeah, we love that. Raw dog, those noodles, bare hands. Spoon is the way to go for most food. That's interesting. Evil scavenger, most food. What are we talking about there? What's most food to you? Like, I'm thinking soups, cereals. I'm thinking of things that rest within a bowl. But you're saying most foods. So are you like spooning a green bean? A piece of chicken? Nah, no, you're not saying mac and cheese is a 2 out of 10 food and getting by unscathed. You can't be doing that. We can't allow that. Just face straight in the bowl. Steak. Mac and cheese and a little burger. That could go right now. That could go. If you can't pick it up and eat it like a piece of cake, it ain't baked mac and cheese. Oh. Mac and cheese with chopsticks is a that's a challenge. What do we got here? Maddie, love you, especially playing Spyro now. You finally got to give Bandicoot the same love. They go together like PB and J. I actually have played all the Crash games when they did the trilogy. I did the Insane trilogy. I did play them. I did like Crash. Crash was fun. I think I like Spyro more. Thank you for your super chat, though. We're really just talking about anything now. Machine Man, we're at the last part of the stream, dude. We're kicking our feet up. We're having a good time here. Come on now. Mac and cheese with buffalo sauce. That's good. That's good play. Yeah, so let's talk about it. I got Alfredo last night. Someone just in the process of tabbing off. All right, I'm out. I got Alfredo last night. I like a very creamy Alfredo. Like you have to have the muscles, the biceps activate a little bit when you're pulling. Like you're really fighting through something. To me, that sort of thick ass shit is good. I love that. I was looking for that. What was delivered to me was pretty good. It was a very buttery, oily, with cheese grated on it type of Alfredo. That was a little frustrating, especially I got it with the fettuccine. Like the texture was just right. That was a fork food for me, for sure. You know? Oh yeah. Kimbo, don't worry. Yeah, see, everyone's checking in. Like, yo, Matty, is it the fork? Is it the spoon? Don't worry, it's a fork. But yeah, this was a wet ass Alfredo dish. It's from my favorite Italian spot in the joint. And I was the grilled chicken with it that I got was good, but the fork worked well, but just, I wanted cream. I really wanted something heavy. Batty's definitely starving. I'm going to have that leftover shit. Don't worry. That I told you all, I'm starving. I have some leftover Alfredo. It will be eaten. American cheese is terrible, so I don't know why you guys eat mac and cheese. That's funny. I saw my doctor, and he was like, if God made it, eat it. If man made it, throw it out. And he specifically targeted cheese. He's like, because I love cold cuts and shit. Like, I'm not saying I'm like a health guru, but I love cold cuts. He's like, oh, awful. Like, everything I mentioned, he's like, awful, terrible, bad, horrendous. He said for cheese, he's like, import it from Italy. I'm like, what? He's like, look up importing stores. He's like, get your cheese imported from Italy. The cube shit. So I'm looking into that, actually. I want to give it a shot. Oh, we got some bolognese sauce tonight from Verbeek. Man, it's time to end this stream and eat. Give me a few minutes. I'm still cooking here. I do want to try some imported cheese, though. There was a deli where I used to live that imported everything like straight off the boat from Italy. The cold cuts, the cheese, and fuck was it good, dude. I miss it. It's the one shitty part about moving. I had great food near me. We have some good food here, but it's not as good. At what point is it no longer mac and cheese? Okay, we're getting philosophical. I said I like ham in it. My friend immediately said, that's pasta now. It doesn't count. Okay. I mean, it's in the name. I think your friend might have a point. No? It's macaroni and cheese. You don't, then it becomes macaroni and cheese with ham, and now it's it's still a pasta dish, but now you've made something separate, right? Unless it's bits. Are you talking like bacon bits or something like that? Then, maybe you're still in the realm. Maybe you're still with us in mac and cheese world. Mac and cheese funds, huzzah. Thank you. I know what I'm eating tonight. But this question here is living with me rent free. This is getting deep, man. I still think your friend might have a point. I think it's a good counter. I think we need to know the volume of ham. Oh, Chris is saying down here, right there, he's going out of chat, it's diced ham. I think you're safe. Oh, but Sotness with the clapback. That's right. You turned it into a Hot Pocket, bro. That's so true. You turned that shit into a Hot Pocket now. I used to have the ham and cheese Hot Pockets all the time after high school. That's fair. That's fair. What meat is the best to pair with mac and cheese, and why is it Spam? I don't think I've ever had Spam. Okay, now we're thinking of additives to your mac and cheese. Me, I like it pure. Vanilla. Like, meat and mac and cheese is just... I know people like bacon with mac and cheese, and I respect you, bacon lovers. I really do. I personally am okay, though. I would like just without anything, sir or madam. Thank you. What do you mean, Akimbo? It's not the worst Hot Pocket flavor. I think the cheeseburger's better. I do think cheeseburger I haven't had Hot Pocket in a while. I remember the days when I was in high school and I thought I was doing well by my body. I'm like, I'm having lean pockets now. I'm doing a little better for myself. The best meat to pair, though, I like it plain, but you're probably bacon. Mac and cheese missionary style for Maddie? Is that what I am? I'm just being really basic, really simple guy here. Ooh, someone's saying hot dogs and mac and cheese. I have tried that. It's all right. It's a little scary, but it's all right. Be glad you never had Spam. Okay, I guess so. The Venn diagram of people who spoon their mac and cheese and own the original DS model is one circle. I'm side-eyeing either way. Oh. Isn't that just... Mikey is outside, bro. He say, isn't that just trash carbonara? My wife ordered some carbonara last night, and it was... you know what? Now that I think about it, it was kind of solid. The smokiness of the bacon really adds something. It really adds something to my missionary style mac and cheese. You know, I mean, there's not like, you know, we got to take this to Google. What are the best additives to mac and cheese? And let's see what the internet has to say. They're more creative than me. Okay, what do we got here? Dry mustard powder? What the fuck? Or hot sauce to cut through the heavy richness. Yeah, you always need like an acid or something like that with the creaminess. Pinch of nutmeg for warmth and premium cheeses like Gruyere and Gouda. Okay, they're talking seasoning. I don't fucking season my mac and cheese, dude. Meats and proteins. Bacon. Sauteed ground beef. Pulled pork mac and cheese. What the fuck am I cooking? That's the shit right there. That is it. We found it. That is the best meat. Pulled pork mac and cheese. Yep, there we go. Megalodon had it as well. You know, that sort of... Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Vegetables? Nah, who's putting steamed broccoli and asparagus in their fucking mac, dude? There's no goddamn way, right? Fresh spinach. Aromatics like caramelized onions or sauteed leeks add a sweet and savory depth. Okay, for baked mac and cheese. Toasted Japanese panko bread. Yeah, classic. Crackers. Ritz crackers? Oh, now we're just budgeting too hard, bro. You're already putting like Kraft mac and cheese, which is a couple bucks, and Ritz crackers. Come on, man. Onions are back again. I don't think I've gotten involved with onions and mac and cheese. Seafood's another great addition. I don't see that here. Is it here? No, it's not. Seafood's a great addition. I quite like the seafood mac and cheese. Lobster mac can be really good if creamy. But a lot of them go crusty. Asha, shall we do a poll on forks over spoons? Yeah, ask the Xbox player voice Reddit and let us know what you guys think, and we'll give you guys what you want. Perfect. Rich sounds kind of banger. You think H-Bot? I don't know. Jack meow 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 says mustard, hot pepperoni, and some spicy noodles all mixed in mac and cheese. This is what, okay, so my dad and I growing up, we did a thing called crazy mix up. So we would grab a bunch of random shit and put it together in a bowl, and we would just eat it, and it would just be a bunch of flavors that you can identify, and it would just be great. We had fun with it. And this would sometimes not even be crazy. It'd be like, oh, I mixed up my vanilla ice cream and my chocolate in the same bowl. My dad would hype me up and be like, oh, you did a crazy mix up. And like, that was the thing in our house. This is a crazy mix up. Spicy noodles with your noodles that are covered in cheese. Matty ain't from the South. Broccoli casserole is legit. Yeah, true. I'm showing my northern side. I'm showing my pompous-ass northern side. Oh, Zentra's bringing us back on topic. Okay, let's talk games. Okay. Matty, if there is a memory shortage, why aren't we returning the physical media? There was a literal 4 gigabyte Xbox 360. Let the physical disc be the storage source again. It worked then. It could work now. Hey, look, you're speaking to my sensibilities. I am picking up what you are putting down. I would love nothing more than this. It's also about producing consoles with disk drives, which does cost money. Oh, man, you're fighting with the rational side and the emotional side. Okay. I think some memory options are in play. External disk drive options could be in play, sure. But just going back to physical media, I just don't think these companies want to accept that they need to shrink to then grow again. Like, I think we just got to reset. Shrink to grow again. But I don't think it would work. I don't know if... I think the general public is lazy. They don't want to get up to switch their fucking discs out. Like, heaven forbid. Zed just saw the viewership plummeting. Have we lost viewers? What's our count at here? Oh yeah, I kind of cooked it a little bit. Yeah, not gonna lie. We were at like 1,200. We're at 953. People are like, yeah. Thanks for the mac and cheese content, Matty. Well, look, if you can't hang, not my problem. This is how it goes sometimes. Anyway, I got a meeting in 30. I really should bounce. I'm starving too. I appreciate this. This was a lot of fun. I know we didn't do a lot of slop, but honestly, I've been just enjoying hanging out and talking more than doing the slop stuff. I'm gonna try to. I got so many recordings tonight, though. I gotta do a Mr. Matty recording for tomorrow's video because we'll talk more about the Fallout stuff. That ended up kind of being a side tangent here, and then I gotta do Retro Rebound as well. So we'll see what time I have for slop because I really want to take the weekend off. So we might just get back to business next week and just stabilize. This week has been so crazy, and so was the last 3. I think it's finally gonna settle, but we'll see. We'll see if I can give Emmett a couple more slop videos. Guys, thanks so much. This is one of my favorites. Oh. Hey, hang on. We got a super chat here. Sorry, I missed this one. Hey, Matty, I've been here since 2014. Got a switch to and any recommendations? Hashtag Team Spoon. Have you tried pastaroni shells of white cheddar? That's a good one. I like that one. Yes, I have. Very good. Switch to recommendations. Cyberpunk, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm just talking exclusives. Any JRPG. Those come to mind. Pokemon Legends Arceus is awesome. I really have a lot of fun with that one. That's a Switch 1 game, though. I have a whole video on Retro Rebound. It's called The Best Switch Games of All Time. And it was just as the Switch 2 was about to transfer over. Give that a watch. That has a lot of suggestions. Like Astral Chain, I'd recommend. But a lot of my favorite Switch games are there, and they run really great on Switch 2. Pacopia is another one. Shout out to Uncharted Wolf for saving me again. I always fucking forget that one. But anyway, thanks guys for being here. This is an amazing 2 hours. I had so much fun. We'll be back next Tuesday, so please look forward to it with whatever the fuck is going on in this industry. But until then, hugs and kisses, lots of love, and we'll see you soon. Peace out.